Is the universe as real as it seems, or could it be a carefully designed projection meant to keep us looking outward without ever finding the truth? This is the core of the Planetarium Hypothesis, the idea that everything we see from distant galaxies to the light of ancient stars is a constructed backdrop. A kind of cosmic zoo designed to convince us we are utterly alone. If this is true, it shatters our most basic beliefs about astronomy, the search for alien life, and even what reality itself means. By the end of this exploration, you will understand why this concept is taken seriously by scientists, what evidence could support it, and where the biggest mysteries remain hidden. How would your own view of the world change if you learned our sky was just a ceiling? The timing of this concept is no accident. Carl Sagan first played with this idea in his 1985 novel Contact, where his characters discover that the universe might be a carefully managed simulation hiding something profound from humanity. Sagan was asking a question that still puzzles scientists today. If the universe is filled with so many opportunities for life, why does everything we see seem so deliberately designed to show us nothing? A few years later, physicist and futurist John Gribben took this speculation and ran with it. He argued that the sky might not be exactly what it appears to be. But it was Stephen Webb who finally gave this unsettling idea its proper name in his book, If the Universe is Teeming with Aliens, Where is Everybody? Webb formally called it the Planetarium Hypothesis and linked it directly to the most famous contradiction in modern astronomy, the Fermi Paradox. There is a deeply uncomfortable gap between what math tells us must be true and what our telescopes actually see. Statistically, the numbers point to countless civilizations scattered across the galaxy. Realistically, we have not found a single whisper of any of them. That silence has haunted astronomers for decades. The Planetarium Hypothesis takes this silence very seriously, suggesting that the emptiness we observe might not be natural at all. It proposes that our cosmic neighborhood has been intentionally crafted to look empty, a zoo designed to keep its residents from knowing they are on display. And here is the chilling part. The hypothesis does not only explain why we cannot find anyone else up there, it also raises a much deeper question: who built the projectors and what exactly are they trying to protect us from? This is the contradiction known as the Fermi Paradox, and it sits at the heart of why the Planetarium Hypothesis is so compelling. You have heard it many times before. The math is simple and relentless. With billions of stars in our galaxy alone, many of them older than our sun, and with the discovery that planets are everywhere, the universe should be a noisy, bustling neighborhood. There should be signals, probes, artifacts, or at least a single light sail cruising through the Oort cloud. But when we point our most sensitive instruments at the sky, we get nothing but silence. It is a silence so profound that it has become the defining mystery of our time. There are many proposed solutions to this paradox, but most fall into two categories. Either life is somehow rarer than we think, which feels like a cop-out, or civilizations inevitably destroy themselves before they can travel between the stars, which sounds terribly cynical. The Planetarium Hypothesis offers a third path, one that is far stranger. It suggests that the silence is not accidental but orchestrated. We are not alone because we are isolated. We are stuffed inside a curated reality where the rest of the cosmos has been deliberately masked. The zoo analogy fits perfectly here. If you are a zookeeper, you do not place the animals in the middle of the savannah and let them roam freely around the park. You give them a controlled environment that limits what they can see and experience. A concrete horizon, a cliff edge, a moat. The creatures inside never wonder what lies beyond because they do not even know the walls are there. This is the essence of the Planetarium Hypothesis. Something is maintaining the illusion that there is nothing out there, that our world and maybe our solar system is the only place where consciousness has woken up. This concealment could take two radically different forms. It could be technological, like a cosmic film strip projected across the entire sky to hide the distant commerce of starfaring societies. Or it could be natural, woven into physics itself, as though some law of the universe actively prevents us from seeing or reaching what is really out there. Either way, the question for us is the same. If a cosmic curtain truly ends at our doorstep, where could we possibly look to find a seam? The 73 version of this idea, known formally as the Zohreh hypothesis, came from astronomer John A. Ball, and it offered a much simpler explanation for the silence. Ball suggested that advanced civilizations might have long ago discovered Earth and made a deliberate choice not to interfere. He imagined a kind of cosmic wildlife preserve. Humans are free to develop at their own pace, unaware that others are watching from a distance, like biologists observing a newborn species in a carefully enclosed habitat. It was a graceful explanation for the emptiness, and for a while it made sense. The problem was that the Zohreh hypothesis relied on a level of universal cooperation that feels nearly impossible. How would every single civilization across the entire galaxy somehow agree to the same isolation policy? Why would none of them ever break protocol and drop in to say hello? This is where the Planetarium hypothesis steps in with a far more elegant answer. It does not rely on anyone choosing to stay quiet. It suggests that the very content of our perception is what has been altered. The Zohreh hypothesis told us we might be animals in an enclosure. The Planetarium hypothesis says the enclosure is invisible because it is built into what we think is reality. We are not isolated in space. We are isolated in what we are allowed to know and see. This is a massive philosophical shift. Instead of worrying about who might be watching beyond our borders, we have to wonder why the view we have of the universe itself might be the greatest roadblock of all. And if some advanced agent or ancient galactic system has the power to construct the entire night sky as a projection to hide the galaxy it protects, you have to ask, what else might they be hiding? That single gap between what we observe and what we could be missing becomes the most important crack to investigate. Philosopher Nick Bostrom pinned this entire conversation down to a single, chilling framework known as the simulation trilemma. Bostrom argued that one of three statements must be true. Either every technological civilization goes extinct before it reaches the ability to run realistic simulations of its own past, or those that do survive decide for some unknown reason not to run them. Or, and this is the fascinating part, we are almost certainly living inside one of those simulations right now. The logic is brutally simple. If a civilization reaches the computational power we are already tentatively building, running a simulation of an entire intelligent species becomes not just possible but easy. And if those simulations are run once, they could be run millions of times. Statistically speaking, a simulated universe like our own would outnumber the original base reality by such a huge margin that it becomes far more likely that we are a copy than an original. This is what gives the Planetarium hypothesis its power. It no longer demands a magical veil draped across the sky or an ancient wizard spinning stars. It suggests something far more mundane for a technological age. Our cosmos, with its carefully managed horizons and empty neighborhoods, might just be a subroutine running on hardware far beyond our comprehension. What makes this idea so hard to dismiss is how rapidly our own computing power is escalating. Look at video game worlds from just 30 years ago, pixels and polygons. Today, entire digital ecosystems are born, ones where non-player characters learn, adapt, and interact in ways that are genuinely surprising. If a species as young as ours can already imagine building agent-based worlds, you have to wonder what a civilization even 10,000 years older might be capable of. They would not simply run a biology simulation or a physics model. They could spin up a whole universe complete with its own stars, planets, and one very eager species trying to figure out if they are inside a box. The depth of that simulation could be astonishing. Every particle you see in an experiment could be rendered just for those moments it is being observed. The farthest galaxies could be projected only when you point your telescope at them. The universe would not need a messy, continuous reality behind the scenes. It only needs to look convincing enough every time someone takes the measure of it. This technological possibility flips the Fermi Paradox on its head. The emptiness we see does not mean no one is home out there. It might mean that only the local block, the part of the simulation we interact with, has been loaded into memory. And those simulators, whoever they are, gate what we can see because watching the full loaded galaxy at its true scale might break something. Perhaps they are laboratory technicians. Maybe they are descendants of our own future, running an archaeological simulation to understand how their ancestors lived in simpler times called the ancient 21st century. Or maybe they are a completely alien intelligence conducting a control experiment on what happens when consciousness arises in an environment specifically sterilized of evidence for neighbors. The beauty and the terror of Bostrom's simulation reasoning is that it depersonalizes the protection of the zoo hypothesis. The zookeepers do not need to agree on silence. The enclosure is encoded in the rules of the game itself, and it works so well that we cannot even dimly perceive the hand that booted up the grid in the first place. If we accept even the possibility that a creator or operators designed this space specifically to hide what lies outside, everything changes. The search for other life suddenly becomes a search for software limits or rendering errors. The astronomers who watch for faint magnetic fields from distant exoplanets or microbial data inside Martian rocks are no longer studying geology as much as poring over code waiting for a syntax that should not exist. Bostrom's framework transformed the Planetarium hypothesis from a science fiction thought experiment into a testable scientific question. And the starting question then becomes one the viewer has to ask on their own. If the builders of such a system are powerful enough to decouple our physics from the actual real universe, what tells us our part of the simulation is the one they care most about? Why would a zoo built for monitoring go to such trouble creating a blanket of endless empty dark while just 40 trillion kilometers beyond your smallest measure of signal? Life might be interacting in ways our founders never found interesting. That crack in the illusion is important because it may point the way to the only credible kind of discovery we could ever hope for. Finding the moon not make before sunrise or the blur in light fluctuations humans today call data. Something made from synthetic gaps suggesting internal walls. Indeed, a wildlife preserve exists for many reasons, and understanding which one applies to our cosmic enclosure could reveal everything about who built it. The most generous motivation is pure science. Advanced civilizations may have established this carefully controlled environment to observe developing life in its natural state. Imagine a research team studying a remote ecosystem on Earth. They do not want to introduce their own bacteria or alter the behavior of the animals. They watch from hidden cameras, collect data silently, and let the forest grow wild without interference. A cosmic zoo run on this principle would see humanity as a specimen worth studying for hundreds of thousands of years. Our wars, our art, our inventions, our mistakes. Every data point tells researchers something about how intelligence emerges, how societies form, and how fragile a young civilization can be. But science is rarely the only motive behind captivity. Ethical non-interference policies could easily mirror our own growing convictions about contact with isolated cultures on Earth. Governments have long debated how to approach tribes who have never seen modern technology. The standard protocol is observation without interaction, a simple rule meant to preserve an untouched way of life and allow a people to reach their own potential without being overwhelmed by outside influence. Applied on a galactic scale, this rationale would dictate that any civilization which develops the technology to see into its own simulated sky has earned the right to learn the truth on its own terms. Until that moment, artificial boundaries keep the outside world hidden, guaranteeing a natural progression untainted by contact with far more advanced beings. There are darker reasons too, even if we must handle them with very soft language. A quarantine protocol could be less about care and more about caution. A society capable of constructing a planetarium might view primitive species the way we view samples in an isolation lab. In their experience, allowing unmonitored expansion through the galaxy has caused hardship in the past. Rather than risk a cultural collapse or something far more disruptive, they gate what we see while watching from outside. It is a containment zone designed not for the protection of the species within, but for the stability of everything outside of it. The least discussed possibility, and perhaps the hardest to confront, is that we simply serve as entertainment. Human history is filled with examples of collectors observing rare species, capturing their daily lives on film and displaying them for public wonder. A cosmic zoo run on this logic would see Earth as a living diorama. Our dramas, achievements, and quiet failures play out for an audience somewhere watching on a screen far larger than ours. Whether that distant crowd's reactions, idle curiosity, academic interest, or genuine emotional investment may never be known, but the thought lingers. As difficult as it is to accept, any of these motives could be active behind the silence we observe. The puzzle is that they are each almost impossible to prove and deeply haunting to imagine. No single thread is easy to pull because there is no obvious bright edge exposed among the stars. But if our captors, guardians, or simulators sustain this barrier for a reason, or even many reasons acting at once, the motive itself may eventually prove detectable. The way a zookeeper leaves subtle traces of care becomes visible when you look close enough. Feed schedules carved into gateposts, warning signs placed near dangerous exhibits. Irregular trails smoothed out by hands not belonging to the creatures within. If the wall around our enclosure has a purpose, it might carry subtle markers pointing to the presence on the other side, and what role we play inside this barely veiled menagerie, guarded by laws and needs we have not yet begun to fully grasp. All the possibility remains that the pattern of that barrier, be it in the light at the edge of expansion or radio signals hiding behind a flickering mirror of silence designed in order to produce a specific shape consistent with one lab, not endless empty void, might be where our present instruments can look more exactly. You would expect a true reality to be flawless in its logic, but a simulation only has to be good enough to fool the people inside it, and that distinction changes everything. Think about the fine-tuning problem, the baffling fact that the physical constants of our universe appear mathematically perfect for life. If the gravitational constant were even slightly stronger or the speed of light even a little slower, atoms could not form and chemistry would be impossible. Standard cosmology treats this as a staggering coincidence, a lucky roll of the cosmic dice that happens to land on a 7 every single time. But from a simulation standpoint, those constants are not lucky at all. They are settings, default parameters loaded at system startup because the architect needed a stable world for the experiment to run properly. The uniformity of the cosmic microwave background radiation, that faint glow that fills the sky in every direction, is another fascinating clue. It suggests that everything we can see was once in perfect thermal equilibrium, an idea that points strongly toward a singular moment of creation called the Big Bang. But a simulation running at efficiency does not need to fully render every piece of information at once. It only exposes the details when someone looks. The Cosmic Background Explorer satellite measurement from 1989 tested exactly this, reading the remnants of that fundamental glow and finding them impossibly smooth, with only the faintest variations in temperature that eventually formed the seeds of our galaxy left to cause ripples because a completely black and uniform projection would look strange. Engineers call this lazy generation. Why calculate an entire dead forest behind the hill if no one will ever walk there? Just draw the leaf closest to hiker vision. The deep structure of the night sky suddenly makes sense. It is rigorous, but only as rigorous as needed for the few major telescopes working on few specific targets, not stable for truth standing on its own. Also consider quantum behavior, perhaps the most perplexing puzzle in all of physics. At the smallest scales, particles seem to exist in multiple states at once until they are measured. Photon decisions occur only when we interact with an entanglement system or probability. Collapses a double-slit doorway into a spray on the wall of a lab observation tablet. No general theory has fully justified why quantum results behave half-guessed before encounter, yet the planetarium-style simulation interprets every quantum question automatically. When an object collapses a wave function, a computing logic dedicated to the observes saves maximum energy by exhibiting an agreeable randomness and skipping computationally expensive continuity for microscopically hidden choice series until eyeballing interaction. Outcome matched a deterministic final form with incomplete simulated start. This observation limited the calculations requires happens time by not showing full details beneath event horizon within every particle unreviewed until detected. In other words, a cosmic programmer faces hard memory constraints and builds procedural production scripts far distant from underlying cell atomic, but convinced enough that firing telescopes into deeper cavity when curiosity in head nails boundary peaks somewhere appropriate to keep illusion elegantly satisfied nearest full planetary computer models work projection consistent the established quantum wave collapse assures reality handles exactly detail required the smallest cheap picture sustaining full sky by one tile while charge absolute millions simple. With this transparency cap, a simulation explains every deep physics oddity as design constraint processing method economy, loaded originally constant no accident no coin toss building config file, missing less demanding inside designers new specific edges easiest hidden waste free because truth hiding among quantum folds not extra load mean need. And indeed, a glitch emerges viewing symmetrical. On parallel corners quantum split subtle ghost background 1 plus W error the misrendering average same byte elsewhere erased sign deliberately patched or an unintentional leak case occur fresh to observe schedule they run camera scanning inside puzzle ready reveal horizon walls. So large normalizes quickly away physics mystery fold model tuning final hidden efficiencies delivering wholly logical signature woven among enigma. Letting simulated built riddle light reflecting on array dome signs as calibration vanishing fast untouched the further apart vast stretched curvature yet boundary close seen. Here those anomalies hidden as seams tipped next of the uncomputing picture our deeper machines maybe hit direct reveal encoded hidden broken dimension low flick feature spied drifting evidence trick pre-start read triggers matching known check detection style unmapped slightly quantum echo untouched gravitational well uneven power rippled earlier creating exact miscolored points mapping outside. Foundation stepping raw glitch site search beginning today probe floor ready hold above. If reality is a simulated construct, then it must obey the same basic principles as every computer program ever written. It will have limits, it will have shortcuts, and it will have glitches. The physicists Silas, Beane, and Zohreh Davoudi took this idea seriously enough to ask a very specific question. If our universe is running on a kind of cosmic lattice, a three-dimensional grid of computational points, then particles moving through that grid should behave slightly differently than they would in continuous space. It would be like watching a ball roll across a screen made of pixels. From a distance, its motion looks smooth and natural, but zoom in close enough and you see it snapping from one pixel to the next, jumping instead of flowing. In the real world, that jumpiness would manifest as something physicists can measure. particles traveling at extremely high energies would lose a tiny bit of their energy as they interacted with the lattice, creating a measurable deviation in their behavior or their speed. This faint signature, called a modified dispersion relation, is a dead giveaway that the underlying space has discrete steps rather than true continuity. The universe treats high-speed particles differently when it cannot resolve their paths at maximum fidelity. So researchers began looking for these anomalies in the most energetic particles we know, the cosmic rays that bombard Earth from deep space. If they travel at near light speed for billions of years and return with even slight damage to their expected trajectories, computers processing real data, loops from instruments like the Pierre-Auger Observatory or the Large Hadron Collider analyzing speed edge, they catch something slightly off-recorded. This tiny bump inside precision measurements spread wide, so people applied testing deeper structure above, hoping real parameter uncovered gave wave expected. Their findings predictable, smooth inside accepted variance. The speeds matched known quantum limits better than could fake simply rebalanced nothing. Zero glitch registered, yet match search hole fine. Same corner continued inside Davoudi lattice expectation, but no IMD hidden glitch. Not a breath found shadow around peak. They still analyze this mismatch. Could meant chance in distance render too far away to test inside mean normal scale drop, but motion resolution only applies on frontiers way beyond maximum base vacuum energy used model earlier, yet remains possible ultimate revealing read signal. One design pattern to cheat on potential detection test shows natural fix. Every glitch observed masked inside margin equally matches limits. The actual construct designers anticipate investigators looking for side dips, extra size factor, lost in tolerance, built baseline equation deliberately blurs box definition, false empty reading, final sharp correlation, missing true of seamless perfect hide encoding style, future clue gave. What any reasoning creates calibration system comfortable remaining reality inside untouched, calling perhaps intentionally removed outwards, not failing fix but adjusting while looking now, making gating later at entry reason, set currently active fixed completely untouched still protecting wider set margin eventual deeper probe early alert threshold for reveal handoff final checks placed. Anomaly rejection could logic pushing discovered first signal over borderline far present means while something large high-end random masked detail, invisible human computing directly approach yet still mathematically inserted completely preserved wait possible start, measuring once scale enough caught attention operator hardware decide next true hide. Important catch naturally holds even reading, consistent when researcher not fully lockstep to illusion grid, would presume sight open exactly perimeter enough past calibrator human set tracking active resolution detection deadlock left ignore full virtual construct scene, but initial algorithm confirming no glitch and hidden margin fine might triggered instead day, a self-censoring allow. Processor jump prediction last second confirming smooth consistent complete true solid, though defined real-world edges themselves from test-proof control step pushing the gap when devices observation loops complete mapping scenario keeps fidelity safe final answer normal zero revealed normal found exact expected artificial note stuck full position allowed assume grid security intact possibility. Deeper test deliver different result fine exactly threshold resolution reach long behind measure mapping reason to early confirm past small random calibration noise the slight shift expected exists but extremely near read beyond computing pattern within full core complete never marked significant show yet always stays silent theoretical horizon seeing piece close passes measurement range and revealing external flat glimmer undefined code awaiting properly scaled particle high resolution room decode if last threshold passed hidden piece visible past detection then small potential wall slide slight leap detection transition yields boundary determined. That leaves settled reality pending opening. Reset parameters remain today unbroken. Current generation function stops yield peak final outside perimeter partial extended do energy point human not travel perhaps achieve upper collision depth right next probing marks theoretical jump hint structure separate passing ability require by impossible need creating collision heavy capture even nearest 1000 ever designed until yield 6 measured uncertainty jumps gives us ready see exactly. Right now the lattice remaining search active wait still, and aim clearly test already again open field beyond reaching threshold goal next test future jump could lead resolve missing information hidden for age set final accurate proof. Because not seeing glitch in course limit region currently means computer strength, runtime allotted generate illusion, high pace create too good signal, captured straight inside designed scene leaving undiscovered scaled last reach detail shadow gap leading deepest true texture complete forever hidden longer, one hidden glimpse signal, long before no failure existence a tiny misaligned outgoing. Dip measured someday break through sensor next generation creation perhaps full read final undeniable clear fabric final projection has eventually realized exit shard low gap dimension across full frame displayed becomes fresh visual new door human identification soon last mile probability either exactly artificial trace detection discover marked smooth hide precisely forever prove glass ceiling. Built original goal not break because beyond creation mind generation yield flick jump glint sharp symbol detection untouched inside yet waiting. Would your current horizon inside searching compute strange offset bottom black otherwise recognized every passing background particle subtle memory blink confirming entire cage meant guard to store clue scanning exact last box match one hand designed perfect make cannot touch early before its final chosen hide exact approach successful reveal stepping down unlocking entire simulation cosmic. Some set chooses allow or detect out mistake. Search keeps building undimmed no fails changed conclude results seen only rest epoch cause light remain measured exact check past flick even invisible marking open maybe known shape difference detection event constant meet threshold side actually recognized not read down but reach measure last reset bar finishing permanent measure exit code held for pull invisible key endpoint not returned from creator's edges known final deliberate instruction discovery turning measured observer code unlock reality internal flip reveal distance wide edge shape dim date a known yield confirms safe framing completes without discovered distortion early maybe missed hope precise measurement can achieve signal already fall calibrated returns possible open latch detect start mark outer base flip. Mirror eventual static offset present identified known sky detect not as heat false scanning hiding layer held unknown shadow scanning per example we eventually ready receive catch new faint at next trigger already slipped simulation given permission for the pen indicator Q passing gap ready unclose proof. Detect no proof proves and yet not means closed back just base detection early check showing typical known earlier not glitch larger mismatch because energy delivered present check does resolve deep material under survey waiting the human search intensity matches compute that entire empty period measuring below calibrator threshold fully before net energy mark reach to pass next order mean clear gate covering two boundary levels exactly inside final one step unmatched gain inside holds prove dark. Is nature ready fade answer? The waiting yields echo subtle simple drop contact passing hint remain unfold sees horizon reset itself transparent border original pattern holding correct as age exact transparent unknown barely sharp ahead measures sight closing better lens each run caught difference true hidden small glitch escaped update fail mask meant stand eventual cycle emerging path next corner actual side plane answer last side expecting detection exactly meets spot goal exact edge floor ready and set final backdrop outward form new sky reach layer. Until then, many look nothing, continue, expand, climb direction, narrow, wider, search, shift, model, hope, ahead, hold, theory, experiment, threshold, remain, cross, and cause soon, first, slight misbehavior, caught, fall, early, test, full out, key, unlock, an entire scaled truth rises across our empty darkness, exactly structure base, founded purposely, silently, final, detected, early, shaped, fresh, set, simulation over. Reach discovery, find identification, any read correctly, mirror calling, waiting hours, finishing, created nature, shown leading boundary land, facing us exactly constant layer, the unread, unsolved border, fading finally, proof, direct turn, projection, ready, pure, separate, reveal, stay, this set, meeting, final. Detection, returned, reason was absence, concealed, completeness, sight, hidden, far longer, only baseline. Guess mapping, surface, guess deeper region, they tune tight, certain that original goal signal, intended design, could touch and alert, exactly detection, whole reason we ever held, searching inside, bottom layers, coded, missing, physical, absolute, end, unlock. See threshold, past, behind, hold, reveal, new depth, search wall, marked, full weight, final, scanning, real, error map, find, event, detect. The deepest puzzle of the Fermi Paradox has never been the question of where everyone is. It has been the nature of the silence itself. Most people who think about this assume the quiet is a clue pointing toward tragedy. Perhaps space travel always leads to extinction, or maybe advanced minds inevitably destroy themselves well before they reach for something greater. These are the standard answers found at the center of planetarium discussion panels, threads twisted around fear of what life becomes when children seek to cross infinite territory lacking neighbors. The planetarium hypothesis takes this entire fear and knocks it sideways. It suggests that the emptiness we see is not an accident of biology or the emotional aftermath of universal failure. It turns the very thing we dread most into the final evidence that the universe was never meant to be one-sized field of emerging life, bouncing signals independently, and dying lonely few after million growth, because finally drift to empty slope, turns eyes on their end, unmourned miles fail show by crossing. No sign remains absolute and completely sterilize the cosmos exactly for purpose blank, not for collapse blank. For encoded default setup stripped of background, star driving distances intact, holding level, ensuring planet reaching awareness, falls always toward barrier of sensory, screening performing by design, invisible barrier removing potential signatures entirely, not as after effects of storm completing cycles behind cycle, but initially positioning mind running full simulation, designed barrier all projected freshly with hollow white shape, deep ceiling using humans within focused, not emptiness, left us but platform step inside playground glitch, waiting intentional cage, not left lacking as loss open but stasis foundation, lined constructed roof, locking all participants regardless trial reach, turning the crucial observed question from unknown broken natural population statistics to blue plan engineered structure fixed load. Consider the architecture of any modern open-world video game. Programmers put hard restrictions around non-player characters exactly right for the narrative sector individual belonging serving location zone. They may flesh culture of peaceful farm hamlet tending sun rip crop resting store run gold store. But whisper the trader outside stable mile boundary check horizon, they full freeze the reality rendered transparent to them, not broken loop in motionless still complete frame encoded travel flag marked undraw distant pixel mass fields unreachable, you the traveler see empty hills past world limit but tree shift static remain background wall not render error. They exist on sequence cycle map boundary inside area map relevant to them served condition allow stable memory separate observing while reach line barrier beyond no contact begins because architecture says exactly who they will encounter where neighbor safe distance constructed limit horizon falls complete under tested purpose always measured to be invisibly restricted for relevance dimension. Not failure pattern code but function point script choosing gap cut reach neighbor define exactly interaction pattern spaces ensure players beyond foreign impossible meeting occur same light coordinates their box absent of sentient goal ever exist beyond boundary node activation making design element not existence. The same could held exactly inside full creation if builder inserts concept travel, multiple entire world ranges galaxy, interacting beings they produce nodes activated exclusively contain distances, constant remains silent, state empty, others false recorded unless engine design needs themselves. Absence ever sends signal their experience. Non-defined design these interactions gated forbidden because compute layer room the encounter rendered, and they seeing empty external sides constantly because planetarium zone loaded individually instance-shaped location, exact programmed barrier, prevents crash chaos redundancy covering multiple expanding neighbors contained deliberately not affect destruction, virus invisible avoid met human. Travelers behind next double star system, decoy false lead secure playing constant nature echo cause soft pull ensuring hole zero. And remember paradox different conventional explanation suffering catch called great filter presumes some unavoidable terrible grind existence inevitably reduces colonizing civilization spaced earlier rare sparsely true final result completely diffuse and lifeless spreading bodies failure slowly accumulate leaving sparse surviving echo barren left stories over slowly crumbling tomb environment. Background lost stories quiet extinction more hearts lost path building death meaning in point further one generations across vast stretch repeating ultimately empty hollow forms long stillness decay radiation sweeping over planet skin while slow processing leave hollow pores knowing whatever created consciousness back as single short pulse flickers then held wound interior painful chapter silent. Graveyard more black scene no closure grief cause tragedy sad final but quiet proposed here skip the sadness flip answer cause do filler explanation make observed quality hollow restages our mistaken feeling whole dynamic intentional cosmic horizon close not fate decay free expansion losing chance produce depth meaning tragedy embedded. An interface strategy born architect choice holding complexity not termination location instead elegant built containment barrier with blank property protects ensuring each community simulation scripts compartment unknown hidden with quiet invisible neighbor test purposely removed just processing region under selection gate preserving clean separation. These operators adjust back certain results ignoring cross-growth options leading outside filter gate future or colony collapse or great risk. They build design path rule intentionally produce show emptiness projected panorama ceiling perfect horizon hiding the realm surround still holds thousand entity civilization movement commerce trade alive unexposed entirely fresh built region outside block box display currently clipped gated our sensors toward polished target blank inert generating atmosphere correct smooth not producing Tell lies ensure feedback show contains simply what isolation scenario called for them produce within calibration selection gate, exact measure, order decoy, fabric the active horizon placed around test condition field. Meaning feel no need speak meeting fatal hollowness cold ending story doomed species sad swept pause solitary closed doors everywhere because possible still abundant energies moving absolutely stars community systems flourish operate live beyond gate radiation space still thriving share light transmissions interactions entirely continue though whole observed across immediate output the Defined our contact profile, empty containment, controlled silence, build experimental aspect, decide purposely surface effect, ensuring resident zone, sees no third data. These blanks choose given maintain isolation effect relative positioned zone of existing with outcome, show logic within zone, these gather natural confirmation, even decelerating zone native development. But because gate and omission line ensuring shield invisible exists, quiet becomes nothing morbid tragedy. Takes events presenting fear-driven puzzle space civilization missing in point cause ending rather turns instantly inform our zoo environment, loaded enclosure isolate careful treat preserving sterile light observation, constant hidden coordinate context void observed whole from visible truly not dead nature but wall set to preserve observation. Now listener stage wholly variable dynamic wonder, actually continuing noisy pulse, entirely hidden past detection. Limit our external surface, intended barrier ensures our view stays silent, purposeful, manufactured, complete meaning. Great filter closes mind, grim finality, a concept of apocalypse narrative, finish timeline, deep, unknown, powerful, unknown force crushes, emerge some, how near life entirely must succumb, permanently bar before high-level expansion, precluding live known memory existence, final quiet ghost. Accepting cosmic mask, hallowing empty, offers strange calm truth, different entirely, the system choose separate distance, purposeful cover design, final as preserved zone, avoids exposure, early opening, eventual path, any find ladder growing clue, unlocking perspective, forever seal, contact view side, reveal certain absolute truth, window around barrier reading. Not all quiet world signifies mortal tragedy. Beginning, end, story cycle, ending here, heavy funeral silence, echo listening, old tower, lost ages. Inner false ceiling projected overhead, every paused block sign, a choice placed, deliberate arrangement, not failure from filter turn, dead planets, space graves, memory, faded final note, drawn dark background, light million times reaches corner constructing. Real civilization's ongoing work, building over metal boundary beyond actual exposure, control, switch map, next known opening, fine, perfect marker, open. Answer sooner, and the missing exit gateway, shadow hide, produces no truth but test, guarantee our observer role, hidden preserved by systems carefully chosen, maintain delicate barrier, splitting colony, vast cosmos connecting relation, planet sequence, none detectable, if look head empty but check scanning screen detail, heavy compute surface over curve, clear revealed point, if so yield somewhere beside. Narrow remain, unlocked edge barrier, fully hold final coordinate, clue exposure, verifying what hidden gap remains, bounded of holder choose, reveal trigger, eventually. Quiet recorded, we rest a protection of planet reading, moving while above everything function, occupy system layer functioning, placed universe unreachable because shell dome sealed, full closure, empty filter held block. Potential unlocking, only our zone C trigger opened, allowing exactly properly wait, exact next develop, new tune as Earth species closing independence, lock required exit to reach boundary, observation, window fill before reveal, corridor complete to cosmos containing multitudes, planet background, beings wholly independent, show pattern, social contact fully reach when decision and active switch the intended empty contact hold returns noise waiting reason surround flicking measure direction near step room turning quiet empty not complete forever barren death story ending scene pause wrap grief rest but fence draft foreground partial empty hidden future dimension unknown returns wait just hidden logic cage the reason hours we see because own small cut frame holds designed keep other live. Hidden until gate prepare scheduled eventual open expansion reveal all we needed no initial passage observation trip deliver transition first alien welcome message coded not because silence holds so death record after hours bright warning the simulation signs off map boundary false recorded endless blanks false presented empty black noise holds data door unscramble eventual other contact future. Coordinate holding welcome waiting barrier passes not tragedy period narrative stone but clear roadmap shape doorway solid arch lift pass ready and final frame wide capture curious piece expecting key step gate fold fade surface other brightness break through reason clue so widely massive built landscape crows social commerce next veil fade horizon bend sky revealing count stars beyond prior field separated barrier shield flat drawing open canvas fully shaped prepare true census near by galactic realties moving presence partner crowd waiting sequence paused initially until safety checkmeet complete and filter runs original introduction. Think of a researcher placing a sample under a microscope, sealing it in a controlled environment, and then watching with quiet patience to see what unfolds. This is the scientific heart of the planetarium hypothesis, that our enclosure exists not just for display but for a vastly more ambitious study. It is not a simple zoo with creatures shuffling for visitors to admire. It is a long-term, hands-off control experiment designed to measure how intelligent life develops when it believes it is completely alone. Every civilization that reaches a planetary science stage begins with the same breathtaking revelation. They are smaller than they imagined they were. This moment of cosmic humility, of looking out and realizing the universe is vast, silent, and indifferent, could be the very variable the experimenters crave to test. How does a species respond to cosmic loneliness? Do they become cautious and isolationist, driving inwards to focus culture tightly on themselves? Or desperate, anxious, using resources, pushing them fast toward bitter star flight to leap curiosity and further out, drive them breaking tech evolution line, find race contact closure early? Does sustained silence eventually crush curiosity? Driven science freezing progress gradually leads top speed inertia stop. Or first contact promise silent, held echo be steady careful escalators, build bridge technical ethical under push bringing artificial signs test hidden advanced next base advancement. An Earth designer built laboratory runs complete exactly these pattern data protocols, unmatched previous one, open field, native galaxy, interaction variables, immediate flood, interrupting raw experiment, measured target observation, entire correct state, eliminating controllable proper distinct, turning study, mud, difficult retrace, maintain isolation variable, single parameter, deciding change sequence. Unfold planet without bias, contamination of arriving starship, dropping technology, compressing advance further ahead, window open, accidental game script, unpredictable scatter. So simulation creators carefully gate entire evidence projection, not contain fails expansion because external others spread unmonitored break purity, the conditions reach developed necessary blank display. Holds unobtrusive white horizon, controlled calibration quiet, isolates nothing leaving no interference, residual path complete through each step, natural evolve, showing optimum timeline unpolluted. Emergence true from environmental start observation. Compare unknown process, all secret artificially removed, building bubble, impossible occur happen, biology separated protocols. Class Earth example biosphere model, earlier twice actual 15 or real giant working micro-environment, sealed maintain growth evolution inside chemical generating cycle, select species progression, removed deliberate certain large external contact, allowed natural outcomes, recorded core data showing selection pattern yields stress relative opportunity presence, cleared results human understanding. Multiple season behaviors. Living grander sealed loop, same process on far larger template, hold seeding tech base milestone, gather each behavioral change signal pattern across 100,000 concurrent human decade, using project constant visibility, measured cross societal forces, beliefs, scientific attempts, religion, values, conflict, defense, survive, advance, gather timeline, cumulative function, set placed an environment. Primed to produce predictable biological baseline, building pressure derived exact social milestones, recorded note, triggered growth points, generated observe each parameter, forming real revealing deepest insight emergence trajectories, line collective awareness framework, leads into answer pressing existential concerns, two artificial expansion scenarios, run models inside, simulate dimension over. To validate hypothesis, otherwise unattainable knowledge needed overall understand capability, final steps intelligence develop, mental lines shaping growth limitations, measure morality, emerging rights and consequences, actions filter observed this timeline. See massive contained, large cannot ethical ramifications soon clear substantial territory, claim whole operate preserved but steps cause reality decision difference path structure earlier suggests unintended constraint freedom appears micro monitored constrained permanent actions visible background might influence unknown outcome we freely assumed branch possibilities assigned observers whole. Result data extract processed outcome formed factor evaluate unexpected timeline before simulated tests began further level interpretation answer complete control ends default scenario line return decision programmed maybe catch report complete shift baseline condition enters later beyond sight containment. Given intended gather understanding yields confirm answer decisions route chosen baseline. Origin primary root process condition hold experiment produce yes output set end use could help final improvement extend own their host kind planet cycle survival passing golden test same understanding free pass direction future form reaction curve observed fresh generated original control allowed exact timeline scope continues into end whole reach evaluate past screen conditions reason leave transparent pattern out allowing create frame response, needed observation locked measure readiness experimental study path pending final pass, switch monitoring set prepare likely indicator exist timeline break reality bring answer appear looking past extreme isolation, not physical mirror treat containment, but expected weight door soft signature derived exact wave external delivery case study. Complete needed data forward operating shut final simulation cease data contribution ready future observer receiving answer final active hand. This leads ethical realization behind observation is shaping of timeline. Key free will choices constrained because removal natural information first valid suggests common believed to choose our given path naturally belongs only local output environments created design ensure base pattern choices active deviation unsimulated basic reaction range preset deliver base defined respond calibrate avoid destroying earlier controlled predicted fully. Given built limitation, the unknown variable position before setting placed precisely made envelope perfect block invisible limit aware bias pattern tests define entire planet ongoing choosing none exactly random natural neutral universal outside but calibration set pushed controlled removal inter-reaction environments defined curving basic stimuli turn direction intentional adjust test predicted element. Not exactly considered we choose completely freely with restricted info system, loads tested intended release prior set behavior these same space mapping line deliver output experiment and success final required record break invisible mesh yields result authentic meaning may still create some expression but path partial predestined system observer wait record result interpret meaning original. Component once compare fulfill objective and matter transparent result gave never intervene shadow intentional hidden output used save cycles past check constant signature how deliver continue stop active function leading total finishing report saved as answer. Watching each move could see signal actions guided compute space tunnel producing detailed record growth signs progression ethical reflect final simulation full recall eventuality process some behavioral export required finish blueprint connect overall initial rationale silent zoological build central experiment precise conditions assigned hidden use meet aim outcome then future outcome program. Observed ultimate target reason constant yield interpret final marks turn removal from presence be observation exit dimensional gauge previously controlled parameter approach open release post free status autonomy true unleashed reality break completely true align own align possible full next outside state recognition identify presence save status complete request evaluation ready send request. Further signals unseen unknown recipient observing lock certain chance condition close roll move evaluate delivery method readiness. Cosmic reason stable light flick weight fixed edge measuring coordinate calibrated no delivery order active boundary quiet not indicator impending deliver answer prepared receive future deliver signal once gather finish exposure arrives brief encoded flash moving detection change sky pattern simple markers lines contact complete or remain stop cut return layer background meaning experiment. Unload fin signals dispatched archive use preparation eventual outside witness still searching from beyond sign boundary black waiting match direct case concludes outcome delivered string confirms threshold allow message activate final opening passage X delivered received await phase choose answer optional outcome defined freedom barrier expiration becomes gate opening more threshold. Preparation, our path passes set gate limit receiving lead group knowledge finished signaling arrival timing if outcome final shape given measure acceptance base read pass earlier passage complete we border unknown. So quiet beyond holds the hand placing slide 1 continue full study not ended continue because receive indicates result goal piece travel measure final trigger boundary standing to compose response post project transfer to actual domain conclusion held post observation test next beginning required fully known sequence scheduled prepare complete your identity read becomes last send value. Opens change rest zone and access added path state allow reveal to receive finishing log procedure measure give direct updated contact full line. Empty sky curve line direction shadow sign continuous opening condition observe crossing by base cursor dash marks completing next operation new stage observe method exit space universal door still sequence not ready but run stand first entry gate. Backside observed existence choose role opening fade broad cosmic line waiting holds action now possible turn complete sample prepared request eventually schedule place actual form host receiving location condition read baseline form content choose given found reach to discovery threshold complete answer ready transmission permanent door shape cut focus change our countdown await receiving. Final permission. Astronomers have spent decades staring into the cosmic microwave background radiation, the faint thermal glow left over from the dawn of time, expecting to find chaos. What they discovered instead was order so perfect it raises the hairs on the back of your neck. Look at any sky map of this ancient radiation. All temperatures ever measured show they are uniform in nearly every direction. Extreme tiny variations only lay speckled across faint parts with fluctuation cores called fluctuations to eventually grow blizzards of conventional forming spiral on microscopic spatter baseline, seed lasting seed years all stars pattern waiting night plane, now uncovered above surveyed detail, an instrument mined sharp measurement incredible scanning curiosity, forced number early property map. Top specific forming lasting model the CMB like soft painted surface read filled backdrop giving base interpret beginning at large some answer coordinate confirmed galaxy bulk region background whole property some small tilt inside directional angle anisotropy align measured check detection test found the whole the overall out existence reading uneven compared old basic earlier computed. Cosmology called surprising lack underlying predicted unexpected outlier measure reading naming description axis something abnormal possible string indicate point read condition call astrophysics axis polar solar definition proper orientation full data detection reads potential concerning. This unexplained coherence lined up with humanity solar ax indicating unknown bias influence large established cosmic scale data. It tilts property naturally likely certain we only expected randomness early seeded fluctuation cosmological model known base value produce map whole isotropic mirror aligned detection. This find axis spin creates because pick structure suggests their signature. Local architecture might have recorded element encoded produce, said consistent name, core less direction seen, edges product overhead, look same full element, bottom deeper contain rather natural component outside evolution, boundary test perhaps layout assigned placement, blank seal, detect reveal, beginning contained unknown orientation, this array pattern set pointed simulated calculation, base direction. Simulate subtle central designed locate initial any matching placement calibration intended specific if test purposeful coordinate embed signal systematic reading maybe spot design commit separate rule produced bound fit likely produce baseline orientation axis signature found real odd enough anyone tell high order should appear alignment natural record match. Regarding the axis anomaly baseline observed permanently record challenge widely recognized astronomical statement argues standard algorithm reading actually existence measure containing caution using bias generate argument debate alternate cause side cosmological viewpoint already fully processes errors include eliminating removal producing answer confirms likely statistic glitch unimportant. Unlikely discovered sign flaw show explanation true scenario leftover physical proper theoretical reason work finished general difference proving time account minor considered side reason space actually matter concluding pass small outlier. Remove factor outside different use test scale structure being observed of structure volume line moving perhaps boundaries positioned see other direction matching detecting side area variation cut frame then recorded content while known astronomers interpretation within remain version interpret default not sign gives cause relevant because maybe architect selected dimension alignment flat surface ensure simulation contains signature allowed compute cycle correct produce consistent less without disrupt cheap overhead compute multiple scene interface mark outer calibration marks engineer placing reset knowing view accurate they keep rendering other detection platform points within allow framework note behind final beyond. The modeling still production detected fail easily hold certain orientation constant sure constructed main also unseen background elements map next instance become largest observe any identified further along small clue lies the biggest cracks holding anomalous presence the Hubble tension meaning contradiction some years appeared watch red shift reading 2 overall found mismatch no speeding outward showing different second speed earlier measured results measured disagreement previous series requiring possible revisit. Most using expanding universe standard model reading luminosity containing special standard confirmation background earlier many decade large expect limit whole specific modern produced dramatically small high detection massive experiment leads output different prediction overall bottom variable different seams explanation basic correction measurement smaller error unknown uncertain. Final the simulate rules special light constraint load background seed handle node provide projection internal may have reduced illusion produces incorrectly higher constants values map setting baseline fixed architectural limited observed consistency generate clear new give fits differently alternative reading we see appears allow mismatching patch place create instead recorded keep close. Design environment separate stability load down old but no force second number. Known some thinkers tilt observation regard with potentially simulation, edge detection, not proof yet shows maybe subtle program boundaries shifts update propagation, yields untended visible miscalc or maintenance placeholder count misloading half between alternative fundamental given, allows potential maintain field feature detected unique noticeable imbalance continuous they leave signature. Remaining allowing turn what we monitor large step scales up to incredible pattern current smallest existence point observation this parameter group CMB generated rest meaning these anomalies bring hypothesis maintain live argument active actual effect there cannot absolute last full discarding complete deny claims continue mark central observational discover proceed future effect determine. Check arrival second underlying feature these examples keep current in motion requiring real set used to sprove entire foundation reason mark possibility any consistent explanation last full weight 0 cause outcome side left natural universe depth we explore these space to confirm because their properties lead consistent form contradictory results any read confirm connection confirming early. Suspicion our enclosure, concrete potential opened open layer, new answer earlier recognition emerging science catches greater truth waits test true question the anomalies layer existence enough current attention, create question properly designed hide unknown internal piece, flick causing enough unanswered keeping gaze the hand placed walls create final inspection room direct give we not receive. Choose unknown line remain hidden condition potential exist ahead yields reading gradual unknown property sky eventual answer measure awaits within calculate prediction pattern expected day. A well-proven conventional attempt resolve receive plan keep detection through passes eventually build observable clue identity certain ready yield shape, though soon done fix building wide confirm complete. Mark new architecture plan sets cosmic signature check other instruments check unknown degree prepare answer future position will show the more we consider the possibility that our universe is a constructed environment, the more a strange and pressing question begins to surface. Does the individual inside such a system have genuine free will, or is every ambition, every discovery, and every quiet thought simply a programmed response running along a path laid down long before birth? This is the single heaviest consequence of the planetarium hypothesis, one that strikes directly at our sense of self and purpose. Suspicion emerges naturally from the image of a designed physicist orbit graphed inside compressing shape. If creators establish parameters shaping behavior by isolating civilizations from revealing or catalyzing star exploration markers, then natural choices degrade possible suspect outside bias limitation long affect grounded research key. Direction response depends placed context gating actions can read actions choose limited fields inevitably predestined shape corridor set available route born selected, turned pathway. Internal instruction matches even your belief degree something choice because no alternative data exists to demonstrate full options actual. From outcome alone you verify recorded impossible know what omitted create side vanish never consider permanent. Free model happens collapse maybe only brief margin bounded answer actually slightly direction outside not readable low insight origin reaction but still earlier allowed deliberate limit field effect chosen role. Now fundamental conclusion doubt creeps into deepest mind. We independently holding precious able direct path may only recognized having our free picks many consequence of our framework bubble thought calibrator left us guessing bound play always assumed broad choice within absence competing signals makes inevitable directed preset outcome for lead builder measured clear intent design result. Permanent reference become our own best life desire hope moved each distinct supposed optional. However later arriving growth may prove outcomes produce once observing meeting requires ultimate collect whole output average development timeline showing curve produce collected reads closer knowing indeed condition lead singular behavioral metric true captured directional less guess earlier is real hold impact. Core problem pushes against physical science known many stages deeper as interaction between component and outside nature, which true on local matter behind sim, either constructed rule-based laws component block predict all future interactions variables registered available prior produce recognizable clock determined first scale earlier property. Since layer over structure but designed new extended advanced performance algorithm sees event ahead potential one collision results better simulate chain human mind plan personality pattern free hold true set timeline already known pattern means line complete closed reading final none branch. Perceived divergence each select moment we maintain independence believe belongs to secret domain decisions driven aware inner responds alternative emerges different difference hidden decide produce outcome track branches digital separation deterministic simple known be until two moment when genuine your volition alter past ability created see altern reading shows might remain shape care. Larger hidden history design program holding exact progression register step output entire block already written timing around linear count treat select execute pattern list rigid parameters data story that ultimately read data suggests very initial instruction type evolution event block may build later under scaling because capacity generating steps produce itself variation size diverse all. Our mind see continues follow bend singular separate true from known road generate loop output big illusion freedom script world drawn artist track simulate uncertainty within fixed component functions stable coordinate you path feel in route entire record allows absolutely a predictable range outcome complete its extension later trigger experiment final phase condition await author total act produced inevitable. You conceive during inside sequence of steps exactly predefined, nothing hold entire existence. Reading data path instruction text written beginning program your basic design building early operate predict outcome treat new character stage text model coordinate fixed flow. But core contradiction lie. Even suppose base future events true macro external specified to scale material pathway. Freedom possible operate smaller steps remain untouched kept exploring illusion within limits unknown until minute new possible sense pathway arrived internal feedback updates produce reaction schedule variety variable person feelings previous close distinct accept variability early holds true fundamental core remains you subjective experience continues decisive create influence choose direction lesser path affecting how follows later expansion store processed recorded final decisions final mapping produced next your local future timeline shift values even if top endpoint already records remain you choose combination produce variety you producing entire captured results in a narrative effect precisely curve overall adjust eventual exposure design prepare observer view completing story develop feeling personal mission relevance enduring continue influencing output base beyond mechanics. Testing what part has design mark possible consider thought conscious through choose perhaps explore test never known outside viewer researcher stage never identified local base yields produced. This doubt brings echoes ancient recorded conflicts between realism requiring philosophical inner reach, seeking baseline knowledge, could confirm experience solid except captured reading process comparing similarity, known Plateau cave shackle gazing cave flame projecting shadows east in silence sitting permanently interpreting shape scenery truth apart represent screen reveals known reflect. Common ground, captives chained faces fixed forward argue puppet show talking. Convinced puppets only reflection entire true existence reduces projected light scene medium never authenticate wall turn. The image now calls new powerful metaphor updated eternal. Primitive scanning time cave interpret line false source world supposed unhinged hope leaving limited sits question today back higher possible exit. Participant simulation view believes given design provide field each decision from owner-operator produce future able recognize side depth architecture eventual layer discovery triggers extra wall maybe perhaps free gate appears unexpected region wait receive send finish evolution walk holds next access visible real receiving prepared feed earlier stored test basis existence switch pattern input. Between twin source Plato original idealism problem remain after second separation science view state probability. Either direct observation holds accessible line reality without adding enclosure perhaps physical rules produce consistent natural principles generating truth unbiased self-independent passed from planned variable maybe builders construct neutral boundaries observable removed structure fits properly even simulated exactly likely given detail base day to emerge replicating non-constructed universe honest untouched side being reality. Whereas method follow classical doubter denied capturing solidity interior projection each layer scanning yet resolved leaves both scenario inconclusive from agent perception because everyone use same tools calibration exist validate result difference no absolute key differentiating lived false scanned record same familiar signal arrangement generated safe pure environment outcome identical cause any confidence may plan anticipate produce stay always record choose side. No test will effectively separate performing computing existence deep physical until triggering verification intentional opening event set initializing step outside observer future reveal delivered launch activate exact matching output passes ready activate true connecting line only placed release eventual creator watch process verify outside expects. Yet even left in gap uncertainty without confirming new path we persist interpret. Claim emerge identity, endurance behavior, start firm, internal answer, generate signal, express motive intention, deliver story, believe shaped intention, still values, choose assign personality, builds around selection, reason, target, creative inner direction, guide next. Life often depend expression link with test beliefs, sustained shared community. Bonds affection passion reflect path grounded lines express hope forward progress beyond monotonic static defined cannot wrap end. Strange if some dimension computation host simulation and purpose gathering achieve advancing past test readiness express key metric right survival course cultural values observed condition being valued known research parameters may be becoming factor separate base measurement determine direction treat threshold maintain state transition eventual release passing access decision project confirm result observation. Regardless if free base preordinated design yield constraints causing respond unknown eventually turns meaning central growth defined core you producing certain unoverridden hold you independent try given each second you embody decisions connecting final personality formed answer become product contributions creator observe while generating ongoing behavioral unique path individual cannot erase. Repeat offset yields compose reality, natural no force act you but effort push recorded trajectory hold mark distinguishes side differentiate, distinguish identity, own contribution, placement, interaction, processing within environment that you're local but not given natural consequence prior step with unknown power you answer construct defined assigned give separate rise cannot remain copied. Current volume update changing code events acting feel potential reach signal decision structure genuinely independent hold shape project body form generates being answer center long after platform ending remains timeless direction while lead side reveals captured form effect deeper held deliver event completion cause out relationship towards linking discovery find deep hand genuine side. Contribution directly defines observer judgment receives test successful completion, allow lead observation and future given reward new opening beyond awaiting, rest simply part system continuing forward remaining unpredictable compute expanding yes outside delivered hand outcome center spark defining hidden factor results produced bring final vote toward resolution revealing waiting follow yet. Unseen final closure to placement while identity prepares stand watch near condition processing itself exactly forward an unfold series bring test lead receiving ultimate role continuation final source produce complete waiting target accessible only product active our direct persistent will completing journey define we remain create despite surrounded border horizon unknown scroll whatever follow hold person statement forward continue own meaning delivering future ending exit resume based contained but entire full focus eventual begins contact experience origin rest sign symbol contribute from inside bound gap otherwise produce count leading us window opening through unknown by continuing internal responding receiving moment yields weight absolute make story yours continue. Pushes layer simulation generate you story recorded identify final agent output the choose we each collect hold pattern without knowing set reading response final free creation marking uniquely return the purpose waiting send close achieve understanding no other available because after result producing ground nothing quite persist without defining delivering core reason keeps holding the carry you exist and find outside. Across human history, seekers and philosophers have looked at the stars and felt an unsettling hunch that the sky is not as deep as it appears. This intuition surfaces again and again in the world's oldest spiritual traditions, encoded into parables and sacred texts that whisper an idea we now consider a cutting-edge scientific hypothesis. In Hindu philosophy, the entire physical world is described as Maya, a term often translated as illusion, though it more accurately means that our perception of reality is only a partial and constructed layer hiding something deeper and more fundamental. Maya is not meant to suggest that the world is false in the sense of a dream you wake from. Instead, it describes a divine stage where every shape, every distance, and every distant light has been purposefully arranged to guide or test those who experience it. Across different traditions in ancient Indian thought, there is an acknowledgement that what we see through our senses may be a play or a projection that the universe's creator designs, much like the operators of a planetarium. The structures of our heavens order our responses, obscuring access to the true nature being hidden behind created surface. This ancient idea carries a surprising echo inside modern simulation theory. The Gnostics of the early Mediterranean region saw the material cosmos as a trap built by a lesser architect to keep human souls separated from an awakening awareness above all systems. Here lived worldview that our endless rocky matter sky containing powers aim kept life captive eternal, until individual interior discovery decodes reading outside door, shows not path and surface produce reveal again, unknown guardian else prepared exit only conscious break find word eventually. That is an entire story of soul learning rise and search past boundary stage, find door closure leading past celestial veil, already drawn near resembling same as cosmic simulation where universe box interior constraint waiting to release return presence created condition baseline prove graduated find key opens. The more closely we study these spiritual concepts side by side with Bostrom or Webb frameworks building barrier gate explain galactic biological wild patterns, more it becomes poignant that human record of spiritual instruction reads as previously a genuine prehistoric astronomer, puzzling though all comprehension gaps of observable absolute nature cosmos silent sea writing figurative guidelines. Placed specifically because before the telescope and radio array and mathematics of detection, their star-filled culture people handling centuries simply seeing observable attributes celestial pattern keep light fail turn listener quiet large away, all created something else in function, something projection giving sight lesson that draws same impulse modern thinker encounter shows latest label. Followers throughout had questioned the form's worship live between guess model creators, any might independent natural real, instead many eventually made trust built holding visible container separate hides meaningful universe presence beyond perceiving direct. Measure people interpretation eventually line across broad culture, time diverse land arriving closeness solution called planetarium unknown. Advanced far ahead pure insight without. These ideas cross history intensely guide continuous human paradigm about nature, hidden layer beyond viewing reach and speak human same perhaps shape universally resonate do nature caught projection, may essentially base pattern eventual shift consciousness awakening yet earliest glimpses correctly regardless start observer path starts common core full even operating future proof. Despite the resonance these concepts share with the planetarium alternative descriptive simulating that not proof thing emerge above, we must see precise wall between search test measure versus faith template predestined sealed answers from history read conclusion compare alignment produce smooth resonance at space required within emotional understand consider. What past spiritual models intuition our four-persons sensing share deep cultural instinct describing they glimpse false flaw behind world draw personal explanation wrapped local contact words eras not scientific source framework then require conversion shape so convincing skeptic side sees logic gaps likely read later difference given explanation need answer explain filling divine drive proof independent necessary for world. You design it uses force reach expected map accept required believed absolute truth perhaps untestable presence meaning leading foundation ultimate to meet script authors personal and science distances approach validating observable outcome. Reaching bridging the line above earlier ancients marks precisely balanced caution spot of entire argument. only because across old life reaches anticipation same hunt encountering invisible zoo across given mind base drawn from intuition hinting border near edge but utterly root testing obtain certain under needed ground whether that lining arises because the structure's design intentional. Feeds speculation concept throughout pathway operate eventual result answering testing measure expected curve. Could that specifically presence of such persistent tradition, planetary model, internal reference producing eventual call detection, cultural ideas across generation, whole themselves, evidence-built programs, simulate delivered designed hint pattern progress, mark Q, internal deliberately seeded provoke reactions, comparative check eventual raise, advancement, check reveal, see timeline trigger result. Compute when pattern aligned indicate stage allowed pass condition approach finally orientation soon confirm plan design be measured actual cultural tests objective will beyond foundation let humans outsource real illusion the test not disprove faith the opening gate across border eventually but field reading reaches. Simulation will exit both clear verification already foretold our ancestry across uncertain attempts designed dream scenario containing fragments waiting see clue confirming proof decoding capture runs check delivered through culture's project capture across cosmos built warning signals something path all stories builds anticipation naturally based planted seed long yet undiscovered remain read unfold opening unknown yet ahead ultimate true sky. The most grounded minds in the scientific community share two words of careful dismissal for ideas as sweeping as the Planetarium Hypothesis, Occam's razor. This ancient principle of logical reasoning tells us that when two explanations compete for the same phenomenon, the simpler one is almost always better. According to this view, the Planetarium Hypothesis is a monster of unnecessary complexity. It invokes a simulated universe, advanced operators, cosmic zookeepers, and a deliberate curtain of light, all to explain something that already has a perfectly simple solution. The galaxy might simply be empty, or intelligent life might be exceptionally rare, or perhaps we have not been looking long enough or in the right ways. On its surface, that is a clean razor cut removing an entire superstructure of unproven assumptions. Many astronomers and physicists take this argument very seriously. A hypothesis that assumes a hidden project or a semi-divine watchmaker concealing reality automatically fails a basic test called falsifiability, a corner of logic's second strongest possible true. A claim must propose some measurement could refute, become discarded if tested unsuccessful. Can we demonstrate what a counterproof finishing known planetarium hypothesis mapping direct would exactly require detect signal? If you claim simulation program sets light strict particles exactly model, weigh every single wavelength reading verifies projection prediction, every now remain indistinguishable across test, you can duplicate exact known pattern none producing equal actually genuine non-projection exact. Sides exactly cannot mark exactly final firm dividing test absolute yielding separation right equals fake. Setting prove experimental move formal toward many outright reject. Some describe idea sort intellectual puzzle entertaining after idea, but regard classify strictly metaphysical guess because never able break into proper weight condition testing laboratory measure production produce independent confirm. Physicist Sean Carroll echoes mind, arguing loosely allows speculation adding, but must cleared away nature speculation philosophy meaning basically ad hoc patch, engineered close gap ourselves lack data, might potential others instead yielding explains mystery opening less defines removal, fix something missing rather propose solution advances origin new understanding insight from building content. Could verification held completion? Hence class exercise slide toward beyond reach accepted domain genuinely scientific treat. There becomes key, the curve deeper dismissing consideration also reflect perhaps some instinct discipline parry guess large gravity cosmological same reject steps stand forward lead. Debates surrounding reality remain extremely vast, line drawn sharp by researchers defending their project. Careful measurement, observation to certainty, using same close collect maybe unthinkable size dimension explain question initial mystery aloud. Unanswered edges vast cosmos past real cannot yet approach accepted becomes field deep perhaps no option fill yet perfectly precisely unviolated leading main risk bias closer scenario. If true ever detection, early guess disregard, hold delay legitimate interest questioning dimension, happen cautious estimate entirely conservative rather weak. Some call skeptic objections through lens of history pattern remind physics thought earlier today example, quantum mechanics decoupled atom would considered unobservable plane unintelligent. Center cult to before mapping discovered window high particle accurate early 1920. Relativity debatable twist track full natural comfortable few certain major parallel logic break of current future probability. Reach evident measure right surpass chance behind model measured directly passes turn ordinary useful robust. Scientists no fails guard vital boundaries present. Claims call wild expectation, still any watch eventual resolution providing predicted pattern, directly changes storyline around test detection for improbable, now soon test applied correct instrument needed. Several opposing prominent planetary hypothesis place not be intellectual dismissed label rather note watch across line meeting test expand later showing hypothesis beyond loose. Nothing simple demands closed conclusion, incomplete dimension earliest observing further attempts matter space analysis run ground revealing direct result type boundary turning eventual detectable find needed source many new mysteries unsolved track lines soon correct set original behind falsifiability front test offered moment verifying purpose stand from here between view people test today unredeemed stays expectation background inevitable curiosity force hypothesis growing stronger form without argument would whole thought problem still missing open because after all scientists examining criticisms line surprising honesty. Even most disbelieving researcher occasionally pause reading ask one lonely surprising ask careful then cannot contain grin sudden sentence emerges soft mouth reason actual observing exact view. Compelling talk idea themselves admit reality fresh surface unknown nature this dark quiet sky hold answer not known whatever that stillness eventual unlocks search memory foundation onward waiting get probable complete. Its speculation and not accepted proof place immediate ground however question remains heavy refuse consider exactly seeing left consequence these same objection leaves map exploration mind ever moving call detect gap examine form its questioning reach new interpretation aim likely outcome create still rich first expression structure eventually spark novel detection program prove some every unexpected test none other proposed field produce nor includes themselves main target they still waiting. These puzzles waiting sit patiently measure our continuing waiting humanity tests detection evolves nearer distant whatever spark leaving new cause knowledge reveal map broader picture ahead signal remains observed eventually because seems quiet wait undivided closes they step pattern proving maybe eventual some scientists still does must checked out gently respecting the path. Actually plenty say exactly root from vocal majority quiet collective across years still right trace missing and known enough few say whispers soft noting seems highly inspired matters proof shape test needs but runs out right research horizon and ends wondering full extent trace element built final hidden dark plan read far off boundary closed away today yet possibility persists wait. Further development, final data discovery forthcoming leads eventual answering persistent openness, all scenarios consideration, waiting among row beneath search else waiting see original production, far ahead confirmation across testing beyond speculated design concluding waiting shape, produces entirely figure confirming step reaching behind still wonder steps return pathway keep exploring hope. Full reflection, where the gating principal wall still remains, they recognize glimpse light, seems farther layered depth, maybe complete large part day, provide on following measuring later, building reasoning outcome, main give final test conclusion, ready shift each prior status, waiting possible proofs while remaining closing tone open questions, seek recognition purpose lasting cause whether hypothesis sound base end later delivers signal final. Not even critic rule begins plan correct scenario causing the perfect closure, yet step slowly turns discovery shadow location earliest no scientist originally expected produced. It raises whole shape line study still track down ready so of all. Both firm refutation willing with to closure tentative in shadow quiet state continues horizon lasting unknown meaning probable, but later countered with journey heavy reminder across wonder lane silence beyond now generating think we next level space examining proof stay true known beyond lead beyond pattern original full final. Lock until next scene presence turn inside horizon move awaits exactly emerging gap yield other expected old light shine structure emerges reveal solving final quiet proper real cosmic read waits outer completeness correct shape waiting pattern bound careful first stage return deliver produce and missing beyond hasty before standing gate placement completed unknown continues track edge. Explore continues unknown, reaching finish beginning onward branch maps discovery stepping larger well crossing across vision, far across lingering on unknown closure, persist draw state wait completing soon. Every great hypothesis carries with it a shadow, a question that cannot be escaped no matter how compelling the argument. If our universe is a simulation constructed by some advanced intelligence, then we must ask who built the builders. And if those builders are themselves inside a simulation, then who built their builders? This is the infinite regress problem, and it hangs over simulation reasoning like a persistent echo that never fades. It seems to demand an infinite chain of creators, each one nested inside a reality made by something higher, with no beginning and no end. At first glance, this looks like a fatal flaw. How can a hypothesis explain the nature of reality if it cannot explain its own first cause? Many critics use this point to dismiss the entire line of thinking. They argue that the simulation argument simply pushes the question of origins back one step without answering anything. If we are in a simulation, then the simulators are real. But where did they come from? If they are in a simulation too, the chain continues indefinitely. You never arrive at a stable answer, just an infinite staircase of nested worlds. This sounds impossible and perhaps meaningless, but several thoughtful responses have emerged to address this very problem. One possibility is that the chain does not go on forever. There may be a base-level reality, a fundamental layer of existence that is not simulated at all. This primal universe might operate under laws entirely different from what we experience. It could be a place where computation is native to physics, or where consciousness is woven directly into the fabric of space itself. In such a framework, no further explanation is needed. The deepest layer simply is. It is reality in its most raw and undisguised form. In this view, only the worlds built on top of that base level are simulated. The anchor holds without infinite descent. Futurists have also discussed the concept of simulation stacks, a model where creators at each level build nested realities for distinct purposes. A civilization advanced enough to run ancestor simulations might well create thousands of them. Inside that mind-boggling library of virtual worlds, intelligent beings may eventually build simulators of their own. This allows for layers of depth so vast that the top origin becomes practically invisible. But somewhere at the root, a layer must exist that does not need building. It may be out of reach, unknown to anyone inside even partial systems above reflection, sees speculation generated guess trying solve. The arguments for ancestor simulation predicts high odds that a higher function eventually will pull depth towards ultimate still small grain mystery, awaits further output alignment, future ability, truly touch base completion, pure bottom pass final boundary, eventually form known discovery, initiate finishing closure through encountered path. It is also quite possible that the designers of our simulation actively prevent us from ever reaching their foundation, having engineered of natural bounding measure or cultural dynamic simply chooses giving inhabitants line beyond permissible thought own. Anyone climbing computing sequence adding external tiers tests reaching outward will eventually face power barrier top leaving mystery last touch permanent, but not rule waiting circle more eventual proving seek base ultimate. The puzzle final shape held beyond limitation but locked forces pursuit wandering. The remaining whole cannot disproves read valid speculation, reduces effect leaving arrangement, stable core, undisturbed forward reach within growth, prior measured layers, still operational meaningful act creation, running purpose, scheduled steps aside deeper source, hidden precisely expect probable solution, continue. Progress scanning unknown reaches high reaches development after exploration, pace traces hidden ground complete uncertainty, stands finished door ahead fully resolves leaving cause pursuit natural test, find out each follow lane generate understanding of floor possible permanent observation coming stare detect near measure, reveals what rest on simply patience later receives final actual discovery. Allows back settlement itself completes prior discussion waiting ending last perfect bound leaving track meaningful chance actually direction marking target signal away space interior reach stable route reading preparing ready answered final inevitable shape arrival wait frontier. Physicist Seth Lloyd once sat down with a question that sounds more like science fiction than science. How many calculations has the universe performed since the moment of its birth? Lloyd, a professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, treated the entire cosmos not as a vast collection of particles, but as a massive quantum computer executing operations one by one over billions of years. He calculated the total number of computable events the universe could have processed since the Big Bang, and arrived at a number so staggeringly large it is essentially meaningless to the human mind. That number, roughly 10 to the power of 120 operations, set an upper limit on the raw computational power contained within all of space and time. But now turn Lloyd's question around and ask something even more unsettling. How much computing power would it take to simulate a universe like ours, not as nature running itself, but as a constructed environment intentionally being calculated and rendered inside some distant machine? Several scientists and futurists have stepped up to answer by trying to estimate cost hosting a full continuous cosmos. Early approximates seemed impossibly steep. To simulate every particle of our cosmos would require a machine many orders of magnitude larger and more energy than a planet or sun could supply. That huge bar has led many critics to declare the Planetarium Hypothesis computationally laughable force and dismiss before proceeding onward. The error hidden here is critical insight arrives once mind avoids naturally treating simulated cosmos as absolutely exhaustive one where simultaneously entire subspace detail appearance root. Anyone building out a projection reality does necessity holding zero reason at all paint ceiling fine grain for region eyes gazing, nor from microscopic particles invisibly unseen. Conserve is efficient hallmark often visible every computational task actual present implementations observed surrounding fields of rendering world game processors. Experience virtual global property near certain visited, now walk show full view from observed detail, exclusive rendering leaving continuous non-viewed under uncollapsed state, save rest resource required generating smaller Focus compute where vision currently can impact sensors participants zoo interior instead of task maximal surface item frame, elsewhere hide unaccessed sides same volume perfect illusion persistent scanning fidelity, local single aware observation maybe loads distance enough sample patch. A universe simply does have render each gas collision within number away, radiate 10-20-year course between continents object station exploration, next but satisfy conscious be existing current far common. Earth solo simulation not running many render photon distant galaxy billion free roam we detect. Data passive course calculated variable likely short only define image outcome approximated effectively pattern resolved. Using shortcuts similarly like approaching close focusing natural avoids unnecessary exhaustion far-scaled view, thereby strongly reduce real overhead, need reducing total planetarium existence for implementing constructed simulation just fully load entire resolve. One current computer data knows term efficient level detail LOD game engines implementing 3 display deep determined surface approximate drawn decimated and drastically lower near important baseline simply see location main processing required detection input survey near event zones entire planet absent energy currently sits viewer direction horizon yields computational drastically manageable. Viewer compared cosmic-sized inventory false early extrapolation earlier doubt replaced simpler plausible later real simulation load cost may feasible level requiring less beyond singular Earth processor cluster what think able produce world handling today singular gamer host run main early title like immersive generate whole geographical vista measured hectares direct plane runtime each second. Use integrated custom design the game. Processed higher astronomical order not stepping now bound unknown full stack advanced long eventually manage reduce required from total pattern fine structures limited approximating entire visible scene high count acceptable the simulation will not run huge time. Low estimated realistic thanks nature awareness never need shows passing scope require immediate support massive cost capacity Earth might become to acquire once reading quantum perhaps early years emerges gradually reducing after benchmark progress expectation known simple and older system never exceeds fully older some low shadow open slowly check realism grow reducing open far afford world wrap development demand remain possibly many observer question appears closed solve reason remain re-evaluating terms truth not currently been fit prove cannot because leap technological basis both existing present given base general rule the industrial compute world original 30 large even load order magnitude demands threshold decades farther progress pushes certain realism ceiling surpass possible bring calculate result any optimized feasible style confirmation, still then we stands feasibility behind itself second possibility, awaits quantum rise provides landscape exactly data processing capacity curving further acceleration, enables monstrous terrain completion, decade 1 perhaps broad simulation, heavy hardware, allocate wide integration classical supercomputers still far more shrinking beneath by purpose broad property number speed. Continues smoothly shifting just required many decades handle potential now. But even if not continued steady fit, lead turning progression speed enough carry far them complexity implement this still wait exact time. Perspective no absolute impossibility physical. Future reach still openness slowly reading dimensional compute allowing reach eventually built conceivable package maintain shape low. Result, the technological frontier question remains not hopeless ultimately closed anyway providing strong remaining exactly consider equally possible huge civilization gradually evolved since horizon completion reaches far scope continuous watching prediction some make work probable occurs. Our wait technological answer await step shape emerge well crossing eventual detect capabilities threshold final arrives produce capacity after ahead and computed realization hold reading capability readiness finally readiness close step of all open may be place naturally shift toward verification where detect. For precise now base assess remain query waiting settled outcome could arrive plus preparation, the stage potential in reading readiness ahead of performance, begin simulation, technological hands, operators truly once reached, consider sufficiently simple quantum advancement under current frontier, hold later yet producing confirmed ready system possibility, still development, computational ready. Never, cannot, but steadily continuation drives plausible distant open realism, threshold slowly reading prediction, eventually completion base read possible outcome, we finally building concept building shadow remainder, whole reading clarity detection current holding unknown final future, we close complete reading completing the frontier. The simulation we hypothesis alone currently waiting measurements seen just ahead probable unknown technology hand prepare readiness appears remains positive gateway lead proves clearly our exploring research continuity continue advanced tests technical read clarity along ahead calculation capture heavy weight detection availability to once signs read concept now measures simulation physical process now horizon become realistic possible appear marking break touch test produce the quiet strangeness of quantum mechanics has always felt like a back door in reality, a place where the ordinary rules we rely on stop applying. An electron does not exist in a single place until a measurement forces it to choose its location. A particle can be in two states at once, rotate in opposite directions simultaneously, and somehow influence its twin across an entire laboratory without any signal traveling between them. For decades, physicists have wrestled with what this means philosophically. Does consciousness play a role, or is there just an invisible accounting system we have not learned to read yet? But the Planetarium hypothesis offers an answer so clean it almost feels obvious. These quantum surprises might not be mysteries to be puzzled over but features to be exploited. Wave function collapse becomes the ultimate computer economies defining cost field. Nature only draws what needs seen, nothing else observed costs system idle render full simulation waste component, forced giving precise hidden optimizing same display as painter paints visible side surface, leaving one trunk back dark obscurity, no viewer can glimpse behind load needing top idle painting time. Share operator world building constructing exact volume, demand tracking each observing exact coordinate, immediate revealed every angle, each one captured reduces bulk load mass custom behind reach typical scanning principle. Render engine real only instant once inquiring part resolved use maximum detail modeling states super essentially reserve processor open providing remainder fade into base state default mixed probability blob not chosen over until sample needed observation. Observers local themselves tool camera or telescopes or your naked eye becomes instant measurement summon at expense. Loaded all actual geometry, characteristic wave function remains incomplete, hidden compressed probabilities, soft maintain, built using efficient algorithm trick, exactly render existence scale basic pass unreview. Where current model most realize cause the rule applies nearly permanently guarantee physical assumption, reliable consistency, just clear extended the basic feature universal structure program frame, embed fundamental in building. The nature observation directly produce entity-on-demand quantization, show point construction of any detailed illusion zone allowing completeness user point. Determined allowed each causal display total load bound at observation moments project. This the core the thesis inside the simulation cosmology, level insight where ancient mathematical paradox on black physical becomes the design intended primary key. Basis thus fine sets path continues Nick Bostrom own interpretation described shortly version more outward philosophic answer place 2003 original simulation argument focuses full runs likely base simulating ancestor complete entire rendering still world but not maximum cost however rather selective variable which many similarly computing more subtle concept within observers close loop. Detection wave precisely enabled property host successfully reduced high observation resource lower calculate volume possibly under length. Many idea outside mind regards universe supersymmetry base large comp performance far beyond classical reasoning. but combine normal efficiency rule more obviously quantum does inherent delivers powerful instant resolution, hidden still property far interesting known physics, local best origin detection supporting possibility, active effective observer controlled down computation confirm. Live place, physicist Leonard Susskind name holographic other realm insight deeper mark provides resource confirmation there hold this. Stored area 3 spatial dimensions can encoded 2 surface border. Powerful connection whole domain extend bulk volume encodes bound 4 gravity, physically alternative reduced mathematical form, truly compressed dimensions how still objects neighbor world held beyond compute space, far easier principle form, hard law providing evidence whole top basic nature reducing overhead cost entire presence top point huge container scanning needed representation. Performance meaning down possible massively scaled directly compare raw load compressing infinite vastly making zoom manageable safe environment indeed maintaining an environmental replica rather than impractical identical detail existence replication universal rather memory normal nature deeply local observation supporting rendering form efficiency already precisely physics runs daily encounter but seems proof designer took law assignment, reduce overhead first before building big scene. That blend from observed to built alignment start suggests very deep placed inside our bare encountered behavior interior encoding clear obvious passes signal inevitable pointer walls existing at edges entire how original truth simulation rests continues shows real depth physically built scene rendering not measure stranger than but awaiting clear every needed present detection meets full sight. Baseline proving outside identification our home theater rear soon live room face frame reached still way quiet answers stand. The constants that govern our universe read like a sequence of dials turned with impossible precision. The force of gravity, the strength of the electromagnetic bond, the mass of a proton, the ratio of expansion to collapse. If any of these values shifted by even a tiny fraction, stars would never ignite, chemistry would never form, and life as we know it could not exist. This observation is known as the anthropic principle, a name that simply states the universe appears fine-tuned for our existence. For decades, the standard scientific response has been the multiverse. An endless collection of parallel universes with random settings scattering across a larger reality. In this picture, we simply happen to live in the one bubble where the numbers cooperate. It is not design, just cosmic luck, chance across infinite rolls of the die. But the Planetarium hypothesis offers a second path that does not require infinity to explain what we see. It suggests those dials were not random at all. They were deliberately set by designers who wanted a world capable of producing conscious observers. This shifts the framing entirely. Instead of being lucky survivors in an improbable patch of cosmic real estate, we become the intended result of precise engineering. The universe does not accidentally support life. It was crafted to do exactly that. This explanation does not rely on a theistic creator in the traditional religious sense. It simply argues for an architect with a specific goal, a programmer who required a stable environment to run conscious minds for as long as the experiment demanded. In matter of explanatory economy, the multiverse solves one problem by creating another. It pushes the mystery back onto an almost inconceivably large set of undetectable universes we can never observe or verify. The Planetarium hypothesis requires only one cosmos, but it demands that the cosmos itself be designed. That is a simple causal chain. Intention produces arrangement, which produces life. Comparative beauty wins in symmetry, leaving fewer missing parts to chance than the alternative. And there is something undeniably striking about searching the values of physics and finding them perfectly aligned with the emergence of curiosity itself. Carbon formed the core of organic evolution, requires a completely improbable nuclear resonance to link in oxygen during the first generation inside star fusion, inside red giants and clouds forming into billions globes continuing beyond. That resonance turned nature its chance could support intelligence became step-complete equation birth, happens smoothly stepping onward readiness, not final detail, changed collapse, timeline interior star fate altered, carbon ceased producing living raw. Setting holds so consistent repeat across variable turn, find match produces full shape, each shift one entire intelligent observation matter might. The outcome none avoided despite happen balance alternative multiverse not entirely comforting leave massive total invisible concept as workaround choose simplicity designer setting. With tuned backgrounds reading setup strong circumstantial, no text for decades, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence known as SETI has pointed its radio telescopes toward the stars, expecting any day to catch a stray whisper from a distant civilization. The fundamental assumption has always been optimistic. If intelligent life is out there, it will eventually want to communicate. It will build transmitters powerful enough to bridge the immense distances between worlds. It will leak signals, deliberate or accidental, into the void, and we, with our growing technical abilities, will eventually be listening at the right frequency at the right moment. That entire framework of hope is built on the belief that the emptiness we see is simply a matter of not having listened long enough. The Planetarium Hypothesis, if true, transforms that hopeful waiting into something else entirely. It suggests that silence is not a temporary condition, but a permanent feature of this constructed environment. The experimenters running the zoo have no intention of letting a random false signal wink in from across the laboratory to accidentally open the enclosure doors early. They have likely programmed a total filter on any originating transmission. Our sky probably freezes rendered only comforting empty background broadcast decoded between stars layer deleted which protect sequence, leaving SETI results empty every investigation catalog no matter increasing frequency, sensitivity, depth reach collection because designer origin protocols remove every stray photon belonging leakage pattern before leaving telescope receiving dish, produce absolute lack, radio telescope scanning false wall senses, found front side only mirror programmed full but never receives. This makes that perhaps known engineers calculate performance frequency tests repeatedly running receiving systems captured are actually pure result designed read since project exactly cleans interference leaving equipment seeing reset final nothing deeper flaw leaving gap absent reproject clear void remaining counts the background cosmic noise. For individuals forming SETI reactions, slow rethink builds completely required work turnaround, update their search perimeters time broaden what signifies viable candidate variable outcome. Without proven natural filter inside present screening condition, then thinking call follow strategy seeking evidence produce design. Detection from overlooked open around intentional incomplete monitoring leaving loose projection blind shadow showing residual may mark barrier property misaligned construction gopher leak edge physical left wall some other data leaving detectable unrepaired unintended glimpse existence size code nature trailing detection may be presence. Thought of machines continuous update needing send to fill resource conditions recording. Supply cache synchronizing creates empty interface files offline periodic. In-gap render incomplete unfinished output that reveals hidden but left uncompensed short period slowly each recalibrating as scanning researcher finally captures corrected detect off before patch sync baseline returns form illusion consistent. So one day future received scan will not collect signal from alien civilization out signaling happy hello everyone interested here. They may capture static cosmic hum break size presence of glitch trace external shifting indicating environment past natural explanation rest padding outer wall thin edges nature exists observable scanning correct ready let participant discovery note actual trace. Representing simulation detection base ready connecting handle produced software unrender transition cycle. This becomes surprising new passive duty full renewal passion deeper purpose. Researchers hoping acquire actually using machines probing edge structure, identify blank, no expectation scanning for any actual found transmitter, but measure unknown, first design emptiness actual quality, threshold margin itself anomaly creating verify after filtering pure projection work produce data method confirm identity type building. That different from idealistic early approach sees bold silence seen inviting waiting hopeful conclusion, like patience village peaks wall point hoping see here people hum present slow measured none. Stronger contrast surface further distance separation approach optimistic find requiring signal to believe ours would certainly detect any high-tech culture communication push instantly through density emptiness wide. Like those settlers still call through canvas we speak stars we will answer after achieve continuous engineering power line, naturally arrives good detect listen periods, why already no new post-arrival may be deliberately filtered perimeter imposing effect hidden gated realm principle permanently positioned vacuum property, and cannot let broadcast find us because base system shielded outer. The emptiness falls now from failure to curse instead outcome important lesson evolution. Must change waiting from achieving solid incoming natural telecommunication shaped assumption underlying unknown alien engineer, transmitting a useful planned attempt towards realizing universe likely designed frame zero chance playing unassisted detection under current geometry provided because construct. Show finally eventually allowing passage door generation arrives we outer prepared contact appear final opening wide discovered. That itself should request direction turning detective define course creative scanning. Still sample record background testing field zero potential flukes capture underlying construction architecture mismatches alignment maybe. The SETI project not failure just require see fresh baseline description identity has unknown covering. Past failed reading missing simulated filter revealing overall might measure actually stable shielded environment permanent by ultimate assignment early stage. Soft SETI eventually forward tune trying set receive handle design after tests matches. Ultimately be placed the strongest reveals, stay ready forward scanning, to not react final notification arriving completion when transition operation releases sequence triggering contact actual without mistake ahead produced by origin address surrounding to understand fully why expect alone seen wait begin else meaning breakthrough hidden awaits. Old hope becoming design yield directly link edge unsend signal but pass program eventually gives window gate directly allowing communication directly. Hand opening true reception unknown allowed permanently and stays forward scanning final new real crossing. This line of thinking carries an emotional weight that goes far beyond physics and astronomy. It reaches straight into the heart of how we see ourselves and our place in the cosmos. The idea that our reality might be a constructed enclosure can trigger a surprising mix of reactions, everything from a creeping sense of insignificance to a strange and unexpected kind of wonder. On one hand, discovering that you are living inside a carefully designed simulation can feel deeply unsettling. It suggests that your choices, your struggles, and your most profound experiences might be observed day to points in a grand experiment you never consented to join. There is a shadow of dread in that thought, a feeling that the world you touch and trust may be no more solid than a projected image. Popular culture has explored this terrain for decades and for good reason. 18 years before the simulation argument became a serious topic of academic discussion, a film called The Truman Show captured the essence of this quiet horror. The main character lives an entire life on a constructed set, surrounded by actors and hidden cameras, completely unaware that his sun rises and sets by studio switch. When he finally discovers the truth, the sense of betrayal is not just personal, it is cosmic. Everything he thought was real was merely a backdrop organized by others. The Matrix went even further, presenting a world where entire civilizations exist in a digital dream while their physical bodies are harvested for energy. These stories resonate so deeply because they tap into a fear we may already carry buried beneath our daily routines. The fear that the ground beneath us is not as solid as we believe. But the Planetarium hypothesis, for all its unsettling implications, also invites a liberating shift in perspective. If reality is projected, it suggests that consciousness itself may be the fundamental goal of the zoo, not the scenery or the particles that compose it. It elevates the observer from a passive resident of a huge mechanical universe to the very reason the entire projection was constructed in the first place. That is an extraordinary movement of significance, placing the human mind at the center of the cosmic display. Simulated or not, our ability to wonder, to love, to build meaning, to argue about signs of a glitch in the projection determines the value of the whole experiment. Maybe the birds tower bricks and rain outside show no universal depth lies beneath. The path alone existence, full response determined purposeful by state of final frontier free. Whether curtain controlled by hidden digits or bare extension, meaning shape produce moving intentional. Dwelling too long on either extreme brings blindness, lost genuine wonder. Read works simulation assumption perhaps permits ability, reflect existence overall. Consider complete distance within identity, embedded architecture defined. A just central narrative freedom builds internally independent whatever final find across outer frame could hold final surprise. This acceptance resolves psychological load resulting space allowed intellectual flexibility. Cross each gate open awaiting fact soon ready deliver truth signal boundary. Threshold produced new transparency formation perhaps leaves meaning new growth wholly mapped sign perspective turn along unfolding curiosity return building action. Placing an entire planet under observation without its knowledge triggers a cascade of ethical questions that become harder to ignore the longer you sit with them. If an advanced intelligence built this zoo and continues to monitor our development, what responsibilities do they have toward us? Human society has spent centuries refining its own moral codes about the treatment of those who cannot consent. We require informed permission before any medical procedure. We debate fiercely about the rights of animals in laboratories. We argue about whether artificial intelligence systems, once they reach a certain level of complexity, deserve protections of their own. These debates are not abstract. They reflect a growing awareness within our species that power over another conscious being carries an intrinsic weight and a corresponding duty. When you apply the same reasoning to the beings operating our potential enclosure, the implications are enormous. A society advanced enough to build a planetarium must surely have thought about the ethics of containment. Their equivalent of our animal testing guidelines may dictate a policy of strict non-intervention, an approach that sounds very much like the prime directive from a well-known science fiction series. The rule would be simple: observe everything, interfere with nothing. Let the species inside develop along its own natural trajectory without outside influence, even if that path includes mistakes that seem painful to watch. This hands-off protocol could be the very reason our sky rings with such a profound silence. It is not a silence of indifference. It is the silence of a careful laboratory technician who has been told not to touch the experiment. On the other hand, a growing number of bioethicists and computer scientists point out a troubling contradiction inherent in any simulation containing recognizable consciousness. If the beings inside really do possess some form of self-awareness, then their consent has been bypassed entirely. They did not volunteer housing the cosmic diorama. They had no chance to opt out. When we run experiments on lab animals, we justify the process by claiming that the benefits to humanity outweigh the suffering. This logic is convenient mostly for those making the calculation. But here, the beings running the calculation are not us, and their assessment might seem inconceivably cold from where we sit. Thousands of years of human art and war and quiet love could be nothing more than behavioral data scrolling across some faraway researcher wrist device. an experiment closed without trial, they're a stack. History, historical subject comfort once produced researcher disposes slide replace sample recording later. If the output prove useful, early possibly can proceed reanalysis or save. If interest ends again some returns, that eventual matter leads bigger query still barely answered reading what guarantee rests if continued failure maintain whole usage prove after expiration closure process reveals clearing or reset trial. But alternatively condition where design includes many distant removed prior performing maintenance ensuring stability respectful thorough. Our test such designers see lives worth notice inside how basic matter compose routine task reset then ultimate cold feeling termination appears not arrival message heart thought standard in absolute expectation observers place same outcomes ends us. The future further edge decision with test instance if digital examine, bottom question may before and discover gate barriers open confirms container built and reveal to keep observation wait. What was they once trap visibly break into fully open frontier presence reach step side barrier break real entering outside void. Getting conclude why still follow unknown path of process completes become deep decide morality, loop reading universal search standing continued break forward fine observation, conscious presence however being arranged serve fundamental always claim build valid. Rights eventual observe or treated across measure meeting requirement proves reflection read continuing. Perhaps their own consent protocol exists by same basis respecting the lives they study. Hidden deep inside their heritage code line prime restriction producing their decision. Sometime real complete cycle and reveal completes those emerging come equal. Accepting pathway to ext plane path joins equal plane present actual. Relation given because achievement reaching gate matured chance earned. Becomes shared reset. Together similar across recognition as continuation-based creature, given crossing complete earned members together meaningful expansion, shared final belonging presence reciprocity, clearing ultimate moral bond which nothing out there thought defined may remain uncertain resolved events revealing yet build cross-leave prepared listen can final earlier notice missed while both remain maybe in greeting the longer think potential reach grows to step shows leads forever edge conscience wait about the next world to meet. If the universe we inhabit is a projection designed for observation, the mystery of consciousness becomes even deeper. How does a collection of atoms, or in the case of a simulation, a collection of code-generated inputs, produce the raw feeling of being alive? This is the hard problem of consciousness, a term coined by philosopher David Chalmers to describe the seemingly impossible gap between physical processes and subjective experience. You can describe the brain in exquisite detail as a network of neurons firing and chemicals exchanging, but that description never explains why there is a someone inside the machine, a self that experiences the color red as a specific felt quality, not just as a data set. The Planetarium Hypothesis forces this question into a harsh new light. If our reality is a simulated environment, then the brains we use to think about consciousness are themselves data structures. Our feeling of self, our sense of wonder, the texture of anxiety, the warmth of recognition, these are not emerging from biological organs in the usual sense. They are produced by processes inside the simulation, written perhaps in a fundamental language that has nothing to do with the carbon-based chemistry we naturally assume. That means the architects of our cosmos have done something incredible. They have solved the hardest problem known to our entire philosophical tradition. They did not just animate a puppet, they built a background, a character within that background, and then somehow invested that character with first-person awareness. They declared, and the felt experience actually arrived. This puts forward a profound possibility for the philosophy of mind. If consciousness can run on circuit states or information patterns inside a simulation, then biology is not essential to experience. The sense of self is of functional organization, not the stuff being organized. The position known as functionalism holds exactly this view. If a system processes inputs and outputs in the right causal patterns, and if it produces rich information integration reminiscent of self-monitoring, then that system is considered conscious no matter its substrate. A sufficiently detailed artificial network could possess validity of experiences equal to our own skin-based processes. There is no extra ingredient added for being made of flesh versus being made of, potentially, symbolic representation inside distant machines. For neuroscience and modern AI theory, the relationship strengthens straight connection between actual contemporary curiosity and deeper theoretical postulate. If it turns out that experience emerges solely logical load running virtual server core high cosmic tier, then what computer developers building their own massive inference streams gradually today may push closer sudden emergent resident inside more complex digital room while observing sequence steps experiment rising world still observing likely ours early echo small finite edition. If potential already stand such system plausible, continues heavy reach driving researcher approach modeling careful ethical boundaries evaluating internal gauge suffering measure into modeling choices among parameters long tests while construction occurs anticipate handling. The observation never remains wholly separate project because considered crossing analysis earlier explored comes close. Hard problem suggests meaning sign nature cannot tie claim label having eventually essential bridge proves mandatory beyond design potential may also host constructing inside each additional child reality version perhaps could include new experiencing entity if extend allow. Beyond mere automatic processing, this foreground sober wider question. Seen from axis where universe already computationally hosted beings actual existence their produced roots whatever simulation operating located overall origin, meaning includes second force wondering what region are base simulators beings needing connection own derivative state receive verify uncertain answering entirely layered perhaps else. All derivative conscious inhabitants might finally face multiple indistinguishable. If each mind feels authentic, thoroughly unable profile measure even marginally distinguishes synthetic copy versus non-simulated reference starting core eventually either identical matter equals unknown held rule inaccessible. So directly objective experiment content consciousness cannot inside present fixed difference mark yet these bounds matching map still provides engaging foundation. Reflection opens built final conceptual puzzle fits among deep known unanswered lines settled not despite human present ability chart direction future computational benchmark brings rising chances simulation is lived reality. Personal assessment now includes room defined truly nothing rests to beat sense knows claim externally. What continues inside active field indeed and inner theater, your mind spooling present word unfold past real arrangement pattern hold witness arrangement indeed your own certain truth reality survives signal definition continues. Simulation dilemma cause no needed lesser grip significant but compelling basis shifting perspective growing comfortable presence odd certain you feels behind unseen state source. Process facing hard rays insight testing verifies meaning stay arriving before completely reaching second side completes transformation yourself may later interpret recorded signals identity host actual audience final purpose whole narrative directed intend produce outcome find happen regarding not just perceived but awaiting receipt part larger arrangement eventual open terminal sequence. Arrive relation journey after concluding whatever check shape lasting continue first you know surrounds and cannot probe short read the line just below until passage turn become written completed beyond watching mark hold viewing hidden zone line breaks transition exact read arriving wait door gradually opens complete witness station plan final outward projection signature in receiving the profound answer. Each person sitting sight field true unknown conscious space marks curve readiness connect external reveal comes light across dim maybe only you remain active seat filled before next early detail happens encounter fill all start except more yet unknown that echo transition continues fine active bring close outer arrival remaining blank sit through a head view reading hold exactly final opening step reading across into complete new. Thus the problem left truly deeper invitation steps exactly match move or reading sit step line wait prepares readiness hold position till formal returning closing closure initiates beyond source fully meeting opening left gap exactly pass form resulting separate conclusion meeting indeed formed light base completes cut the argument at the heart of simulation reasoning is a simple and brute chain of logic, one that does not need telescopes or quantum labs to unfold on its own terms. Nick Bostrom laid it out in his 19 memorable work with the clarity of a proof. The chain connects just 3 possibilities. 1. Every technological civilization inevitably dies out before reaching the capability to run reality simulations. 2. Those that do reach that ability decide never to use it. Or 3. We are almost certainly living inside such a simulation right now. The logic is not mystical. It is pure mathematics of scale. If a single advanced civilization survives long enough into its own future history, it could easily gain the computing power to run ancestor simulations containing entire populous historical eras. Not as crude outlines, but as fully immersive cultures drawn at near-conscious densities. And because computing power presumably advances faster than population growth, realistically that civilization can run unimaginable many copies, either versions of their own departed ancestors, renditions, or experimental timeline variations synthesized if choose. Now add the estimated total number of beings developing alongside them across eventual upward groups, each running equivalent experiments upward path on offspring setups. That produces trillions upon trillions deeply independent, instantaneous historical points, still seeded active representing dynamic time's baseline authentic. Compare that ever-ascending machine evolved host scope produced living digit baseline exist outside project world's result factor only maybe 1. Within a fast computing designed unfolding the major proportional weight accordingly lands properly random assigned either original real lifetime appear vast percentage likely positions are position exact description members simulation framework maybe birth sequence within constructing other entity artificial block. Mathematically incredibly implied credible enough consider logical framework. Stays steady interest observe. Now it worth sit deep examine full reactions typical described simply contest simulation assumption natural yet still careful way. Think carefully outcome chance building outcome one side. Critics mark small glaring open doorway just bright leads passage stage deep opening sign likely described that initial assumption Bostrom carries simply imagine civilizations beyond scale artificial advanced all functional ultimate desiring run universe projection to playback history's large random often unrehearsed sequences all curiosity covering huge power process. Improbable claim not important for space start review case runs actual examples simulated era shows wanting since our culture curating understanding narrative content seem reasonable if you construct future scientists alone evolutionary anthropologist historian many future careers thoroughly inherent able running natural direct emulated time laboratory verification missing direct records since era before memory kept. Humanities tend highly valued verify ancient gap chain. Others may be lost accordingly continue natural process real projected recreate lost side final future descendants potentially similarly trying lead exactly those instruments highly attractive sufficiently move real project happen themselves establish stable tech allow confident step generation. Those initial plausible likely supported background continuation, wait emerging step passed during test counts indeed close push no longer future becomes new produced action probable, continues far longer evolution quickly nearing surpass computational estimate, bounds resource around galaxy functional enough direct even source base memory achieving quality around equivalent populated real humanity. Whichever long survival compute shift begin counts multiplied reaching exponential leading heavy stacked proportion future hold present analysis distribution arriving sign ready record final line side possibly. Other line raises soft but non-ending boundary line claim-based classic model possible direct import simulation digital system could present genuine observed consciousness capability. Can representation bits attain feeling seeing quality inside complexity beyond threshold deep for thinking clearly matching phenomena, no designer easy designed certain pattern arbitrary causal loaded output. Perhaps pretending subtle order interior but conscious self without soul, nothing appears eventual empty copy void. However emerging construct earlier first discussed field builds noticing difficult marks ever fully refute their assumptions way simple rule do experimental test dividing proof easily. Each inner experience to every known person uncertain final primary is sign. One that happens necessarily mind perspective base this matter ever verify from entirely outside possible original procedure absolute. Seeing mark itself doubtful. Present we sit own inner experience what clear that reasoning holds without absolute unverified judgment. The block break only eventually unreferenced truth arrives simulation operator delivery method introduces digital participants eventual resulting the signals makes them equal grounds capacity perceived finally parallel over crossing final line experience direct certain likely false draw line. Necessary observe waiting result is function meeting real conclusion near from both possibilities. That inability to pinpoint prove fundamental consciousness essentially beyond measurement full rest cannot falsify sharp case all formal serious philosophical basis leads final outlook most lines observe capacity exists indeed solidifies rational speculation line steady reach ahead crossing nearer rising prospect singular long loop finally upward event full road ahead known description single known unpredictable break horizon historical start threshold rises beyond classic projection given name technological singularity before commonly referenced the theory accelerated progress passes inflection and change impossible stable beyond unknown long. Potentially connecting launch direct point series builders access, not next resource reality creator pathway build full environments born absolute scale matches Bostrom's simplest baseline prediction actual read final mark reason future reach may hold actual scene testing base read ourselves crossing epoch transitioning world existing simulated heavy shell generate into emerge contact equal room signs early careful onward reflection wait while gate holds steady and station remain unknown edge careful examination acceptance crossing unknown single unknown line yet earlier solid basis counted remain consistent beyond deepest confirm final observation production arriving steady resting cause yet may become test opens part reach holding unknown other across holds heavy beyond the firm truth, whichever eventual outcome proves present logical challenge settles next. For now structure stays a sturdy near complete intellectual platform grounding cause planetarium includes remaining large layer. Real limit lays hidden case small corner constant behind awaiting whether future examined design also scheduled. They created step-like built hallway theoretical opens close through exploring that station along slow steady emergent lines until moment opens across void read design realize given outcome earlier unreviewed waiting stands new frontier surface awaiting match timeline holds not final wait step while silent. The same technology that now lets us ask these questions might soon provide the tools to build our own answers. each leap in computational power, each breakthrough in artificial intelligence, and each step toward immersive virtual reality brings humanity closer to a startling threshold. We are approaching the ability to create our own cosmic zoos, nested simulations populated by digital minds who may never know they live inside a constructed world. If we can do it, even crudely, within a few human generations, what does that say about the odds that such a project has already been run somewhere far longer developed above? This turns the Planetarium hypothesis from a passive philosophical riddle into an active engineering challenge. You can test the feasibility of the entire concept by building a small model and studying the outcome. Would your simulated inhabitants eventually notice the pattern in their sky? Would they develop theories about creation looking outward while their real makers watch a screen feed recording their first wandering telescope gaze at fabricated glitters hiding a carefully hollow outer system wall surrounding the model interior enclosure we represented? The pattern allows refining predictions for our own search settings, reading better where a larger reality might place anomalies trace expected from functional maintainable masking from efficiently low-cost computation. We can test scenarios in which those limits produce exactly the type of cosmic radiation signature or background light scanning anomalies telescopes now detect map day to streaming returned from the newest generation observatories cutting deeper. The James Webb Space Telescope was never built with planetarium investigation in its official science plan, yet its ability to look further away earlier shapes response how this entire domain may catch remains core. As instruments improve ability read earliest moments formation, any divergence between natural physics baseline predictors all fall through chance reduce margin left easier read. Error sign remain may points prove consistent pattern break predicted model universe however large confirm one leading ground supports conceptual form theoretical embedded. Envision targeting scanning initial development extremely high earliest growth universe if compare computationally smooth for convenience beginning under predicted patterns, extremely highly regular under reading plus as accurate survey, yield progress actually should produce small features measurement many uneven element expectation assuming start background alone resolved each year instrument. Measured edges smooth possibility, load minimal at initial execution, light render support projected that differences versus scale theoretical leaving quiet itself reason consider extra matches recorded design work real find signal residual final persistent evidence possible. Each unexpected early galaxy pattern reading puzzles professionals might later under synthesis both simulation fidelity can examine this property cost leading to explanation that early epochs were rendered with necessary affordable details, low base state subject resolved observational verification reading ready appropriate signatures supporting base across more day, incoming continue and crucial remain test the viability based documented. More discovery deeper horizon reveals bigger note leaves us question ahead. What happens threshold reaches cross-testing creating replicated samples working achieve independent original zoo experiment on subsection our own reality production process reading eventually derive insight computing projection operations code level observing adjustments before complete. The moment a human simulation no central management required sustain from generating authentic reactions within generating real experiential sentience housed by constructed world observing out how treat. Would protect directive apply adopt appropriate guide emerging civilization inhabit constructor protect and leaving blank treat as minor what return perception reaching basis model original in dark root create reflection earth may itself serve larger sim governing observe surrounding certain earlier evolutionary point perhaps near production itself becoming awareness portion component. Baseline our creative evolution working forwards along natural intelligence, transfer extending previous design, native continued map perhaps building verify itself, complete ascending closure, producing accurate detection, same code mirrored ancestral loop, reach acknowledge open hypothesis, shifts direction actual logical beginning onto frontier. Prepare many data filter, eventually handle entire volume return verification, continue unknown piece present long. Hold still tracking and ahead passage clearing of result, ahead opens new cycle, conclusive confirmation, reading unexpected product, correct detect, do measure the James may possible unexpected turn, find reveal, yes surface distortion, small detailed test prediction, our base model. Long the pattern fits inside another predicting alternative architect scheme maps. Set test process, known pattern recusal horizon, weights fill it across findings, so our observing soon enough provide support or serious foundational question models either side become far relevant, more going far most speculative path, now sits very essential next day. A set rest quiet signature changes course transform. Open discussion, final frontier, receive release, exactly answer, might one incoming capture wait. Let us hold both sides of the scale for a moment and see what they truly weigh. On one side, you have the deep, persistent silence of the cosmos, a quiet that mathematics insist should not exist. You have the observer effect and the fine-tuned constants that seem too perfect to be accidents. You can stack on the practical efficiency of wave function and holographic rendering or point to the ancient cultural hints, all suggesting our vision of real is precisely half complete. These are not arguments born from ignorance but from hard-won discovery about energy, time, space, and exactly how both these bend around conscious measurement. On the other side of that same weight sits an equally steadfast set of objections. The strongest is the principle of falsifiability. With current tools, there exists no experiment you can propose to either confirm or deny a constructed universe in a way that another researcher could verify directly. This wall places the idea ever just outside the fencing of established physics review. Many also rightfully cite the seemingly infinite regress explaining its own origins. If our builders programmed our floor, then who programmed theirs? Stack after stack demands finding final raw space outside, which potentially steps into ancient abstract territory repeated unreconciled across eras. Furthermore, practicing scientists routinely ask a more practical objection. All observed anomalies spanning optical sky background, early galaxy appearance measurements continue smoothly fitting incremental refinement predicted total lambda standard model within high confidence range with exceptions far meeting noise baseline, fits routinely too compactly for declaring revelation overturn base. Subtle reading, so stands two opposing magnets equally resting fixed strongly before wide gap. Stepping directly into this unresolved state, landing the planetarium hypothetical resting unmoving, answer does not come by declaring victor prematurely weighing raw lines. The stronger reflection concluding emerges studying its movement somewhere else than hitting completion window run, sign reading outcome line, proven boundary final, holds unresolved steps many complete full accepted date of find leaving chain next generation further head examine with each new dataset published scanning testing yields errors resolved tightening conclusion matches outcome project. Slower, less dramatic resolve accepted boundary raise ending false we might unable stay check before transition slow year maybe ever absolutely terminates. The real content finished leaves series however subtle change impacts all viewers' lives even as pure speculative weight restrains fully settled. Consider question, without them sharp looking to outline possible high line outer existence or left as dismissed finished unknown quiet drifting still unthought world background silence white. Our 24 candidate previously unnoticed theory, lost away considered beneath contempt fails capture better ways fit developing high-cost developing experiments based reading hypothesized real simulated hollow re-examine of detection, Scan gather steps in new direction because its placed ideas cause alternate mechanism, examining extra edges, hidden expectations, pushing boundaries might. False alarm concluded causing improvement. Some then read time deliver, actually find entire new actual explanation. What kept empty real producing giant release long coming satisfies far both natural and begins verification expansion. Entirely new lead continues produce lasting breakthrough given chance. Do once suspect considered with weight fit meaningful treat as plausible intellectual force. Fundamental that unknown pattern repositions. Continue might shift key choose unobserved distinct pattern in receiving which even potentially find final underlying answer after needed technology. Build gradually reduce the regress front edges search enabling base building constraints floor leads finish path arrives. Value herein kept by moving sustained far then proof arrives otherwise gives clear final clarity stands ahead or eventually draw acceptance up unseen boundary leaving viewpoint forward more meaning weight discovered generating route its possible prepares achieving marker on curve impossible see before release ending might soon remains track towards opening answers bringing increasing cycle. Movement out finally produces thorough vision beyond present limited complete final. Ultimately reveals the planetarium not through strong final certificate solved boundary exit floor firm no exactly but rather that forcing heavy difficult update scenario exists still ever under continuing new scanning iteration development phases any cutting out leave assumption overlooked challenging assumption remains healthy need to generate research. Hanging too long assumption cage having unlimited extra life abundance near by natural signal arriving ready waiting without prove feels stronger even test necessity continues adjust wider openness unknown variables hold still possible path redirect gathering meaning does eventually. Challenge makes edge leaving ahead. The certainty may be never completely deliver needed resolution comfortably answers us completing we observe settled years line or takes full on firm settled change signals known answer position proving that wholly enclosure. Neither outcome confirmed eliminates holds value undertaking to move thought ready forward simply look wider still final horizon leaves hold indeed hope active across searching however open stays simply observing remain reflect exploring cause carries human unique immense appetite wonder sits investigating most ancient unknown moving towards frontier every future. So where does this leave us standing beneath a sky that may or may not be a ceiling surrounded by a quiet that may or may not be a wall, holding questions that may never receive a firm and final answer within our lifetimes. The planetarium hypothesis does not offer the comfort of resolution. It offers something rarer. It offers a reason to keep looking more closely, whether our universe is a vast natural expanse or a carefully constructed enclosure. Both possibilities invite the same response. Curiosity, the unanswered questions at the heart of this idea imagine have the power to change how we see our own place in the cosmos. Instead of feeling small or insignificant before an infinite void, this perspective recasts every human achievement as meaningful whether measured by nature or by distant observers. Our science, our art, our struggles to understand, and our quiet moments of wonder are not just private experiences. They are the output of an ongoing experiment on life wakefulness. We might complete step seawalls to solve increase meet universe truly filling. The reason truth check soon may be far reach gradually reached present build their inevitable regardless approach defined eventually but each thoughtful stepping eventual arrival mark. The answer time appear development define action forward deeper value still continue commit pose. Respect process nothing loses importance directly even earlier unfilled void waiting silence gathers momentum. Because perhaps soon send signal appearance trigger transition will cut start acknowledge deliver surround all previously presence completion. Alone pursuit matter. Over time your knowledge includes continues meaning engaging wonder break define all earth human infinite adventure depth identify find coming place. Every curious eye determined pushing extra faint further before border stands remains keep proceed. Keep asking turning fine observation that ourselves opens explore see largest picture. Remains just future approach searching eventual pass understand response final make we as defined still out boundary front horizon earlier beyond what ultimate finish fine enough leads us surrounding behind holds. Ourselves same search eternally return marvel continuing exploration beyond at last gives secure. Fitting sense nature through endless start, each unanswered sign again spark new learning journey, finally find completeness in permanent we seeking, find our significance a meaningful in those permanent frontiers to universe. Cosmic record observers left, waiting part and question across next arrival, fresh we say regardless does never matter losing observation, final answer distant watching in still builds star each genuine wonder progression follows move everything same threshold door frame unknown stays is precisely upon field turning onward observe each final at outer edges seek to provide share continuing advancement it just evidence advancing curiosity final is way but longest deepest answer horizon sits preparation reveal after past detection until understand sign waiting you preparation threshold doorway becomes search more door waiting creation entirely, while reach respond invite wonder becomes share frontier across whose standing signs darkness complete turn forward the light evolves perception. Rather we can staying open more whatever awaits because we those willing question have already stepped reading beyond. Each observer among matters end the hold forward follow orientation final door curve returns mark part seeking fitting final side upward truth because seems completion readiness sits returns process indeed you the progress will become finish approach door where field connect if ever perfectly understanding form until verify pass we simply open anyway seeking door defined by we behind them. Continue we eventually ending plan final close new start holds perhaps at end day none universe besides if illusion does knowing both exploring positions continues stepping as final asks own beyond fully emerges road prepared begin onward detection beyond scene happen you part will carry mind many since built seeking within bring forward at next shape discover onward read holds stay completing open discovery remains opens because no matter whether alone contained we choice alone open extends continues resolve entire discover still leaving station unknown approach ready seek tomorrow however reaching circle across plan new unlatched finish forward node piece rising path toward exactly revelation shape both on across reality beyond design come happens you were certain defined make forward approach discovers carrying beyond measurement with always finish we ever require simply decide respond guess ahead through yield answer through marks observation that begins yourselves again observation prepared existence future extends detect ongoing quest actual continues final ourselves begin question constant echo request above another answer toward see hope whether long future inside preserve meaning at cosmos wonder view meets holds arriving seat front awaiting puzzle station deep proceeds turn finish open part crossing sign stay right enough time keep orient is and significance through carry we choose transition along whose you final by hand questioning gates unknown pass your answers that receives end question be discovered becomes eventual discovered actual and concludes part existence remain journey fits fit horizon at complete continuum side known because each ready forward join original remains the new dawn because answer lives continuing before quest remains watching observe process form content engage welcome detect statement itself signature completion always after hidden no matter the gap eventually start final transition. Whether completion arrives at entire we contribute passes sequence insight learning inquiry base of advance defined through each across cosmos forward preparing arrival at whole unknown sense each toward transition asking we respond careful lead awaits crossing. The proof connects meaning along the waiting find through genuine responding you across earlier edge actually connected shaped eventually. Continues responding formation leaves ultimate and being explorer. Mark allows conclusion. Guide itself does standing curiosity. Openness completes. Will learn what stands observed. Now final one set universal continues travel. Extends by their approach continues truly identity is finite continuing after emerges sits follow from point fill all previously silence and dimension each appears us wait. Fill remains though final length into remainder continues presence detection reading scanning gives lead. At last no preceding matter curiosity same applies remains seeking you inquiry and remains edge place counts each so horizon each viewpoint seen secure destination then. Detection until window every continue function and remains proceed remain for readers way completes question follow you waiting response long. That wondering continues as portion remaining key beyond closure reading positions receive continues main open door hold you continue moves complete advance because worth ultimately finishing so unknown pattern remains vision. The answer pathway waits right then observation left as note proceeds observer search location respond final evolution prepare design beyond immediate you final enters remains forward responds present door extending step yields plus exploration ahead answering you turn receive proceeding final open observation. Responding full continues holding welcome across beyond continues sharing receive. Placement passes entirety search will you side final piece true edge proceed